Hi, welcome. So for those that are unawares, which I don't think anybody here is, we our main campaign ended last Monday, and we did have a session 0 for Monday before, last Monday. You're trying to do a Brady Bunch thing?
Hi.
You're such a dork. Here's to new adventures 100%. Our other campaign ended last Monday. We are now on campaign 3 in our homebrew world Inoursa. So just to give everybody a little overview of where we're at. This is Shiadeon. It is the continent that they chose to adventure on this campaign. So I did drop a map for everybody in the file folder, if you saw. And as of now,
map was received.
Map received.
It's been consumed.
So this is where we start out. To kind of give everybody a little sneak peek of the area. And of course, we will start in the capital city of Dezzen. Welcome to Campaign 3. We are currently located in Shiadeon, in the northern part of the world Inoursa. It is surrounded by treacherous oceans and sandwiched from the northeast and southwest by icebergs. To visit Shiadeon from elsewhere, you would need the bravest captains of the best seaworthy vessels, or have an invitation to use the portals from the many gods who rule it. The capital of Shiadeon is Dezzen, where the gods have chosen to build their seats of power. It is considered to be the most defensible city in all of Inoursa. It sits high on a mesa, surrounded by the restless river, and protected by rings of shimmering ramparts. Each area of Dezzen is overseen by a god or gods, with the king and queen nestled safely in the center. As a resident of Shiadeon, living outside Dezzen, you would see it as the pinnacle of power, home to your gods, a place of free trade, opulence, education, and dreams. Unless, of course, you are unfortunate enough to either be born in Point, or even less so if you end up in Heights. There you learn part of the truths behind the blinding beauty. There you are either forced into the mining labor, farming, blacksmithing, or manufacturing. You pray for mercy, be assigned anything but mining, though your prayers are rarely answered. The Shadow Pit and Mines of the Shade encompass all things of your deepest, darkest nightmare. Even with protectors bred and trained at Point, your work-life expectancy is months. However, those in Dezzen are blissfully unaware of your struggle to survive. The mines hold little meaning for anyone other than the gods and demigods. The great walls of the city shimmer in magical light, the faint images of beautiful forests, sweeping plains, beaches of unimaginable beauty, mountainscapes that defy imagination, fields of flowers and animals none have ever seen, and at night it all fades away to an almost imperceptible visage of unknown space. Visage. I just word vomited. It is peaceful, prosperous, and everything you expect.
Epitome.
In the word. In everything you expect in the home of gods. To start, we begin in the Grove. Here, the seat of the king and queen of the entire continent, Shiadeon. we're going to zip over to Dezzen, currently speaking with his master. There, guys, I'm sorry.
Hey, you're not allowed to cheat and cut me out. I'm not the DM.
No. It was something that I totally missed and I screwed up. His master, Satara, is technically considered a demigod, though not quite in favor of the rulers of Desmi. She's worked pretty hard at being independent of the rulers here. However, she finds herself in a bit of a dilemma. She has been drawn back to Desmi and was unable to stop herself. After arriving, she was put under arrest in her apartments and awaits an escort to see the king and queen. Dezzen.
Yes, master.
I don't believe that we will be leaving after this, or I will not anyway. You must understand that after they have taken me into custody, they will come here to collect you and the pets.
Tell me what you need me to do.
I need you to get away. As soon as I am escorted out, find a way to safety. Do you understand?
Yes, I'm confused.
What is it that you are confused about?
I just don't know where to go.
Go to the park. The southernmost part of the city. Make your way to the park. There's a trader there I know. I've requested quite a few items from him in the past. Look for Babbles. I can't even say this with a straight face, guys. Babble Stabbles. Fabulous Baubles. Take what you need here and sell it to him. I don't have any gold on me. But at least there you can blend in better. But not here. You stand out too much. Leave the other pets behind if you must, but you need to get out. If they find you and what you have learned, we will both be killed.
The arm bangle I had when I arrived. Do you know where it is?
Yes, it is in a chest up beneath my bed.
Thank you.
There's other things down there as well that you might be able to sell to him. I did not bring any of my research with me, in hopes that they will not find out what it was. You are caught. Do not let them take you alive, Dezzen.
Who am I looking out for exactly?
Anybody who's representing the gods.
I see.
Do not trust them.
Is this... Will I ever see you again?
I do not know. I do hope so. I suppose it just depends on how I answer the questions from King and Queen.
Well, thank you. And I'll give her a salute. I'll see you soon.
Right. As soon as you hear the knock. And then leave. As soon as you know I'm away from the apartments. she will get ready. And there are going to be 3 other pets there with you all. You can choose to bring them with you, or you can choose to leave them. It will be much easier to get out by yourself.
Would I have any kind of friendship with these guys?
Most likely not. They would be mostly simple servants, handmaidens, that kind of thing.
Okay. You know what? I'm not going to say anything to him. I'm going to go try to collect my stuff and then wait for the knock.
Okay. So, though you don't own much, whatever it is that you are wearing, having been indentured at a very, very young age, prepare yourself as best as you can. Knock comes. She looks around the room, looks at all the other pets. I will return. Everyone, please prepare dinner. Thank you. And we'll walk out with the guards. You will find the chest under her bed. In it is the arm brace that you wore with the symbols on it as well. Also within the chest are going to be a couple of journals. Choose to take them, and 2 artifacts that she was supposed to trade here while in town.
Okay. Are there any backpacks or bags or anything around?
You would easily be able to find a pack. The either the servants or one of the handmaidens would have carried pack on your travels.
Okay. So I'll grab any kind of bag, put the artifacts and stuff in it. And find a good place to hide, I guess, until the danger passes. Yeah, so I'll try to find would I know of any special hiding places in this place?
No, the apartments are actually kept fairly empty. I mean, the closets would mostly be empty. She doesn't spend a lot of time here in the city, nor in many places on Shiadeon. She chooses to do most of her travels outside of the continent. So there would be a lot of empty closets, wardrobes, that kind of thing.
Is this a 1-story or 2-story building?
You are in the palace. You are in apartments in the palace.
So are there windows facing out that I could get through?
Yes. There would be balconies on each floor for these apartments as well.
Okay, so in the stuff that I gathered, would there have been any rope or anything around?
To make it easy, we can say that you have an explorer's pack.
Okay.
Because that is what y'all spend quite a bit of your time doing when you're not at her personal mansion training. You would do quite a bit of traveling and adventuring. So you can just say that amongst everything that y'all brought, you would have brought adventuring packs because you most likely would have traveled from here to go do something different.
Okay. Alright, so I'm going to grab the rope then. Go up to the balcony, tie it around one of the... or a couple of the, whatever's holding the balcony in place, like the guardrail. And then try to shimmy down the rope.
Okay, so just, unless I didn't state this, I don't know if I did, it was evening, night going on night. So I need you to roll a stealth check as I will assume that you have quite a bit of experience tying knots and ropes during y'all's adventures, and I just need to see how quiet you are as you make your way down.
Nat 20 for 28 total.
Of course. Of
Is
course.
that good enough?
Yeah.
First roll of the campaign at 20. It bodes well to 20.
It does. It does. So, yeah, you tie the knot as well as you know how. You slip down, whisper quiet, push off the next balcony. So, no, so you start at 17. No, they're at 6. And you grapple down the side of this wing of the palace and begin snaking your way through the gardens, out the grove, through the gates to the south. And by the time you reach Desme Park, it will already be going on morning, as you had to hide.
Sneak around everybody.
You had to sneak around everybody. And you also know it's a very, very far distance, past the universities, past the great libraries, past the other mansions and estates here in the Grove. So, Neil, it is a morning like most others. You awake, prepared to go to your shop, see how things are going, and see if there's any new orders that have been received, or any artifacts, or any items you might be able to create. As you walk into your shop, name, 1 second.
See?
Fabbles, dabbles, serious baubles, and treasures.
Mm-hmm. Marcy.
Fabbles, dabbles, dildo shop.
No, as you walk into Fabble Stabble's Fabulous Baubles, which I will bobble over every time.
You can call it Stabbles if you want.
Yeah. FFB, Fabble Stabbles.
The Fabble Stabble.
You walk in to see Marcy. The shop sign is still closed, but you walk in, lights still dim within.
Good morning. See you, sir. Anything interesting today?
Good morning. And first, yes and no. One thing for sure, we do know that the demigod of Satara, thank you, Satara is in town. We've heard rumors, but strangely enough, she hasn't sent any orders in. So I'm not real sure what that's about. Every single time she comes here, she sends in orders.
I'm sure she just wants to speak with me. She usually wants to get a bargain.
This is true. However, still concerning. She arrived yesterday, and no word. Also, taxes will be going up. Again.
Say something interesting, Marcy. Interesting. Taxes are your domain.
Interesting. Yes. There is an order. Not real sure. You know what? I'm just going to spit it out. The ogres to the west. We need toenails, Neil.
Her toenails?
Yes.
What size creature do you take me for, Marcy? How do you suggest I go about acquiring these toenails?
I said it was interesting. There's, do you know, the...
Suppose you're right.
It's interesting. That's about all I have.
I guess it is. It'll give me a chance to test out my modifications.
Modification? What's new, Neil? And she reaches behind the counter and puts on her safety glasses.
I've recently created this repulsor shield, and I'll take my shield off my back.
Oh, well that...
It might come in handy if those ogres' toes get too close in the clipping.
Do you have, giant toenail clippers by chance?
Oh, yes, Marcy, that's something I totally thought of. No, I suppose I'll have to cut them off with some sort of jagged device.
Jagged device. You are an inventor. There's got to be something better than a jagged device, Neil.
Is that really going to be good for business, me to invent some giant ogre toenail clippers? You think you can sell that on the shelves, Marcy?
Oh my god. I love this so much. No. Not necessarily. However, I mean, there might be a market. What if we marketed them to the people around the area? What if we market them to the ogres?
We have been trying to get into their markets since they cannot enter the shop. That might not be a bad idea.
Yeah. I mean, and we haven't really been able to even do much, negotiation with them. It might be an in, is all I'm saying.
Very well, I will go back to the workshop and commence at once at the toenail clippings gathering procedure.
So as you turn around, in walks... Describe yourself, good Dezzen.
I'm like some sort of dark elf and shit. So I'm a drow, fairly tall but not too tall. Drow, half drow, carrying a couple of scimitars at my side, with a hand crossbow pinned to my waist. I have no idea what would my armor look like.
Pick it.
I would imagine his armor would be kind of normal brown leathers currently. Something that's well crafted. Something that would have been well crafted for her favorite pet. Sitara's favorite pet. With on my right arm there'd be a kind of the tattoo of the emblem that's by my name up there. That would have been
emblem of Sitara?
No, it would have been given to me by my house in the Underdark. Shortly, probably 3 or 4 maybe? Really young age. I would say other than that, he'd probably look like a fairly standard dark elf. Like nothing would stand out about the way he looks. Probably bluish green, maybe hazel eyes, dark hair. Kind of just a normal, nothing crazy about his skin, just a normal kind of dark elf skin. So, but super beefy.
Yeah, of course.
Bulky,
So
strong.
So you literally almost walk into... And now, Neil, describe yourself.
So, excuse me. No.
You are clipping really bad all of a sudden for some reason. What?
Clipping like really loud.
No, your sound's just not. It's not coming through.
It was then. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Interesting. So, no, doesn't sound any better.
You talk louder. It sounds fine. I think your thing is too...
Weird. Well, I'm using push to talk now.
Yeah, I don't know. Weird. I don't know.
So
Sounds Sound is hard.
Deep gnome.
Why did we lose you right now?
There we go. All right, try it again.
Am I back?
Oh,
There we
yeah.
go.
Okay, so Deep Gnome, about 100 years old, a little over 100. You can't really see much of his features as he walks around somewhat fully clad in some sort of hodgepodge armor that he's pieced together. So he would have a bit of a goggle hanging off his left eye and perhaps some sort of small screen hanging off his other eye. So you can see his face, and you can see that it's a small beard similar to my own, only his is gray. And then his body would be an amalgamation of what look like different plates of metal that he's pieced together to form a sort of chainmail or scale mail, as it were.
Yeah, so I was thinking about my appearance. I thought about something and then I completely forgot it. I was paying attention to Austin. So I would tell you exactly what that item is, but I don't remember. But
Okay, so you almost run over a gnome.
okay, yeah, because I'll tell you as soon as I remember what that is, but because I can't tell you.
Having the repulsion shield out and being run into, I think I would, by natural defense, activate my repulsion shield.
Perfect. Tell me what the repulsion shield does. As you hear it, ding, 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 ding. Somebody walks in the door, runs you over, and you do what?
While holding the shield, the wielder can use his reaction to expend one of the shield's charges and push the attacker up to 15 feet away.
Is there a save involved?
No save. It's just a reaction based on a melee attack. So I guess you could say that I can't use it if he has a melee.
No, it works. It's fine. So, Dezzen, you open the door. You hear the bell go off. And as you hit this little gnome in front of you, you are just pushed back about 15 feet out of the door again. And as you're pushed back, you hear ding, 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 ding. And standing in the doorway is this little gnome with his shield.
Sorry, sir. You caught my shield while it was fully charged, sir.
Ugh.
Welcome to Fobble Stobbles.
Well defined. Hello. My master cannot be here currently, so I have. I don't I don't really know why I'm here, to be honest.
Who is your master?
Sitara.
Oh, we were just talking about her. Please come in. Yes, she's a long-time client.
She had a meeting of sorts, I suppose.
Very good. What sort do you require?
I've got some artifacts that I believe she wanted me to sell.
Yes. Do come in. Marcy, we have some relics here for sale from Sitara.
She pulls up her head from the books. We're not open. Oh, welcome. I'm sorry. I don't recognize you. You've never come in with Sitara before. Are we sure these aren't stolen, Neil?
I was her favorite. I didn't ever come here with her. Would I have anything on me that would prove who I am?
Yeah, she would probably give you a signet. What
about on the box itself?
Yeah, the box would have her signet for sure, but that doesn't prove that you didn't steal it.
Sure.
I mean,
So I'll show her the like choker that I had around my neck.
Right.
and Neil will kind of walk up between the two of them, and he'll be like half smiling. I mean, he's a fellow tunnel brother. I believe we can take him at his word.
Tunnel brother. That's not.
You have not heard that nickname for the Deep Earth people?
I remembered it. I'm about 50 years old, so I'm still young. Sorry. Commence. I left the Underdark a long time ago. I don't really have much memory of it. The memories I do have aren't pleasant.
I'll give you a hint. It was very dark. That's pretty much all you need to know.
Yes. That much I do remember.
I don't suppose Satara sent you with some money, perhaps, to discuss in case we need to make change for this artifact exchange.
First, what is that thing you have on your back?
You talking about my shield?
Yes, I've never seen anything like it.
That's because there is nothing like it. It is my own design. It is Fabble Stabble's wondrous repulsor shield.
Yep. Wonderful.
I'm still working
Sorry,
on
Neil.
it. It's
Wondrous.
Thank you. It is still in product testing. I would not dare try its power on the public until I've taken it through many an adventure and tested it rigorously.
Right.
I suppose we can chalk off today's accident as the first test. And he takes out a small piece of paper. Repulsion successful.
I'm glad I could be your test. No, she did not send me with money. Only with these artifacts. And I'll pull
very well then.
My back.
Are you looking for something in exchange for them in particular, or just money?
What's in your shop? Could you describe that for me?
Yeah, so Fabble Stabbles is a pretty kind of eclectic mix. If you can imagine what it'd be like to have someone who is very wise to what's going on in the streets, that would be Marcy, kind of curating a supply of reagents and different sorts of odds and ends that people request. It's like a mix of those decisions mixed with Neil's. And Neil's decisions are largely what he thinks are cool. And they don't necessarily sell well, but they're kind of odds and ends, random artifacts. Perhaps he claims that there's a bit of Warforged technology that he's, reactivated, but it might not entirely work, and it could just be a lamp. But it has those sorts of odds and ends mixed in. Hence the Fabble Stabbles baubles, the baubles signifying that it's kind of an odds and ends shop.
Have I been in this shop before? No, I haven't, right? She never took me here.
Oh, she would not take you here.
I've never seen things like this before. Is any of it useful?
Everything in here has its use, that's for certain.
Like what?
Well, why this thingamawhatsit, I forgot what I named it. And he takes out a rod that he just spins in his hand. It's a small toy for children that entertains them. And then I think if you practice with it enough, it might generate a small electrical charge. I forget, actually.
So, it's a toy that shocks children.
Maybe they're bad children and you need something to teach them a lesson. Multiple uses.
All I can think of is Bernie Sanders.
Is it? Yeah. He's a bit like Bernie.
Have you ever seen my mitts? They're so warm. Well, I suppose gold will suffice for now.
Very well, Marcia. Please take inventory. I'll get to work on that ogre project.
Ogre project?
Yes, something's afoot that we must deal with.
Oh, man. Something's afoot.
He'll be chuckling to himself as he starts to walk away.
What's her name? Marcy? Marcy.
Yes.
What's afoot?
The thing on the end of your leg.
I'm starting to see why she didn't bring me here.
All right, well, let me see what you have.
Let me rephrase that. What's afoot?
He has a job to do. So bring me your goods. Bring them. I still have books to do before we open, so if you would just please bring them forward.
Sure.
From the back room. Marcy, where's my spectrometer?
Probably in your workshop, Neil. Don't generally.
Oh, I found it. It was in my workshop. Never mind, Marcy.
So she'll open the box. Neil. This is more up your alley. Can you can you come back up here, please?
He'll come out and he's holding what looked like a pair of large garden shears.
She'll just kind of slyly reach under the counter and hand Dezzen a pair of safety glasses. You might just want to hold on to these. Just trust me on
We're not
this.
at product testing, Marcy. No need to scare the man. I forgot to put these down, and he'll put the shears down. What is it? He'll
Okay,
pop up next to the counter.
Wait. Are the hedges what's afoot?
yes and no.
I like that, Marcy. I like that a lot.
It's a dry humor. It takes it's okay. Here, and she'll turn the crate over to you, and inside is 2 artifacts that y'all had discussed previously. You had discussed with Sitara. She was traveling far to the south, and it is 2 artifacts of a sunken temple, and they're just pieces that have fallen off the wall, but they have some very strange writing on them, almost as if she had just broken them away. You would know that she's been on the search for dragons and dragon eggs. Dezzen, you would know this as well. Anything that had to do with dragons, any kind of lore, books, symbology from anywhere, that was her biggest thing. Dezzen, you would know this just by traveling with her. So, and then the arm brace, which I will let Dezzen describe.
Is that the one from my home? Or from my childhood? Yeah, so it would just be kind of a small metal bangle. With 2 kind of silver balls at the end of each side that I would have worn around my would be wrapped around my upper arm and would have the same insignia on it as my tattoo.
Okay.
I don't need this anymore as another being of, what did you call it? The tunnels?
Oh, you're a tunnel brother. It's just a fun nickname we
Tunnel brother.
say.
Right. As another tunnel brother, I thought maybe you would be interested in it.
Well, it certainly might have its uses. He'll be kind of pulling on it to test its rigidity. I need something to stiffen up the shears if they're going to cut through the ogre.
It wouldn't cut through it. And with your understanding of imbuing magic into items, it would be magically imbued. And not only that, but it's very small. It would probably fit your arm. Not that you would necessarily want to do that, but it would fit your arm or that of a child.
Interesting. Okay.
But yeah, now that he knows he's getting a fucking purple, he's like, oh, I was gonna use it for my shears. But now that I know it's a legendary.
Yeah, I was thinking he was gonna melt it down.
Until Dezzen tells you what it's for. If he does, I don't know.
Oh, interesting. I see some traces of magic here. Fascinating. It's quite nice. And then these sunken temple artifacts, what do you think? Marcy, are we selling those? I know we had talked about it a little bit. Do we think we can put those in a nice display? Oh. Yes, sir?
You should be careful with that bangle. It deadens magic.
Oh. Ooh. Well, that does make it a little interesting.
They use it on children so they don't get out of control. If you know what I mean.
I do not. That sounds terrifying. Well, Marcy, the child torture trinket might be reserved into something better.
Yes, perhaps you could sit it over there with your other child torture trinket.
Sir, we do not stock anything in the torture department here. That is around the back side of the store.
You have a torture section.
Well, we don't, but we find that the occasional citizen requires a bit of torturing, and we run into things from time to time that we're willing to part with. Yeah, like Jazz said. It's called a collection, sir.
Exactly.
Yeah, so for the artifacts, I mean, we usually trade for another job. Did she give you a job to give to us? Reverse that. Try again. Did she give you? Did she give you any? Did she give you any documentation or any requests that she has? I can't say that these would be worth a whole lot by themselves, but she usually we trade for trade.
What would she have usually traded for?
Another job.
Another job.
Yeah, so the artifacts that she finds, she would give us, and then in Neil's travels, he would generally be able to trade
adventures,
those.
You mean? They're grand adventures.
Yes. His adventures, his grand, wondrous adventures.
Does this have anything to do with toes?
Yes, it actually does. At times, like today.
That'd be more of a big adventure, I'd say.
Or I'm sorry. Does this have anything to do with feet?
Possibly. So, right, so she would give us artifacts, we would take those artifacts and trade for other artifacts that she would want more, and that was just kind of the rotation. Sometimes, she would be, the artifacts that she received would be less than what she wanted was worth, and we would, bargain. So if she doesn't have a job, I mean,
I don't know if you know, sir, how often you have gotten around town, but I am a quite accomplished adventurer, and she saw that as a valuable skill to employ from time to time.
Right.
So what I'm saying is I could give you 50 gold for the artifacts. I don't know about the torture device. That's more of Neil's arena. But I could give you 50 gold for the artifacts.
You mentioned you wore the torture device and you no longer do. Is it because you've outgrown it? We might have a larger torture device that serves whatever purpose you may need.
I thought that was only in your collection.
Well, my collection is for sale, good sir. It's just on the other side of the store there.
It's like the curtained off area when you were kids and you would go to the videos
adult section and the adult
exactly exactly how I imagine it.
And you would sneak a peek just because you shouldn't be.
Resizing services.
I do appreciate Jazz giving me lines that I can use.
Oh, Jazz is the best.
He does it all the time. Yeah, everything I ever said as Jorn was just from him. Yeah. Well, I don't take this the wrong way, but I don't much care what you do with it. I worried for my master. I don't know if she'll be back. I need gold.
Oh no. Well, I've been a mercenary several days of my life. Do we need to defend the great Sitara?
I can assure you, if she didn't feel like she could defend herself, we wouldn't be able to do anything.
She is quite powerful, being the demigod and all. Perhaps you're right.
Neil, just a second. So, we might be able to sell this to, some of the demigods with the children that have problems. Just a thought. Might be worth quite a bit.
I suppose so. All right. Well,
We can probably,
I don't know. I haven't
sell
exactly
it for.
bought a torture device anytime recently.
Well, we could probably sell it to him for a very, 1,500 gold or so if we tell them that it literally will keep their child under control. But
It's not a torture device. It keeps your child from casting fireballs at you.
better.
Oh, you said a magic deadener. A magic dampener is what you meant. I'm sorry, I got confused.
Could you imagine how this would work in the university? With all those children that come in and are just literally exploding with arcane?
This does seem quite useful.
We could probably
Tell me,
sell it.
are you magical, sir? Can you verify that it is effective?
Are you magical?
Yes, I have
Magical.
a handful of spells at my disposal.
My magic I'd prefer to keep to myself. It's not exactly... It's frowned upon.
I must confer with my colleague, sir. One moment. He'll pull Marcy away a little bit.
Okay.
How do we know it works?
I mean, there's always trial and error. You could just try it on.
Oh yeah, you'd like that, wouldn't you? What if it permanently removes my magic?
Well, I mean, it doesn't... Didn't he just say that he had magic?
Again,
So
it comes back to trusting him.
He is wearing her collar, which all her other pets wore. That's the only thing I'm going on, and then you're, deep well of friendship thing that you have going on.
Well, that was just good salesmanship. What do you think? What do you think of this danger that Sitara is in? Are we perhaps getting into some trouble by purchasing these items?
Well, I mean, maybe, but we could always just say that she traded them to us before. And the armband was from him when he was a child.
That's a good point.
Good sir.
All right.
Good sir. When did you meet Sitara?
You know, I can pretty much hear everything you guys are talking about.
Well, that's awkward. So,
He did not perform a perception check, DM.
How big is your shop?
Oh, it'd be quite large. We determined I'm a pretty successful merchant, so it'd be a pretty decent sized shop.
Okay. So yes, if you're trying to overhear...
12.
I mean, you would have picked up a couple of things, but maybe not the whole conversation.
Okay. So what'd you ask me?
Wait, when did you meet Sitara?
She purchased me when I was a child. Why?
Okay. And did she give you this armband or no? Like, is this something that everybody... Like, I don't remember seeing this on any of her pets, but usually her pets have more clothes on.
No, the family that sold me gave it to me.
We're in the clear. Neil, we're good.
All right. How much would you like for the armband that is no longer deemed torturous? So make sure we file it correctly.
Of course. She'll pull out another book and slam it down on top of the ledger.
Would I have heard the value that they were talking about?
Yeah, she didn't pull Neil very far aside.
And what was it? What was the value again? Like 15,000 gold?
A lot. Like, I think she said like 1,500. 1,500, yeah. Armband formerly known as torturous. Yes, that will be the tag.
Well, since I know what you guys are asking for it, I'd be willing to part with it for 300 gold.
Deal. Got it.
Well, you are not a shrewd bargainer.
Not at all.
Not at all.
No experience whatsoever.
Very well, you heard the lady. 300 it is.
Here you go. Yeah. He'll just start counting out coins.
Yeah, my charisma is 8.
Yeah. Well, and you don't have... You may have been with her on some trades, but it wouldn't have been... Like, you would have been guarding her, not really paying attention. So you have 350 gold. You're rich. Ish.
Fucking loaded.
So I will let you two decide what your next steps are.
Neil will start walking back to his workshop if nothing stops him.
Sir. Wait.
Oh, yes?
You mentioned you were an adventurer.
I sure am.
Do you have another job lined up?
Well, yes, we were somewhat cloak and dagger about it. I don't know if you caught on, but it has something to do with ogre's toenails.
I don't have anywhere else to go. Would you mind if I came?
Do you have some sort of ability that would aid in a quest for ogre's toenails?
You mean besides my swords?
Those might actually be more effective than what I was trying to make with the shears. Those seem quite sharp. Very well. We will split the revenue 50-50.
Deal.
All right. Yes, I know you overheard us, Marcy. It seems our new friend wishes to become an adventurer, and I'm always looking for tryouts.
Tryout.
50-50 is just, that's cutting into a lot of the profits, Neil. The taxes. Don't forget
he
the
has
taxes.
to earn it, of course. Excuse me, sir. You would not expect me to pay you 50% if you did not pull your weight, would you?
You could also look at it as being able to take on twice as many jobs.
Let's try him out first, Marcy. If he does not prove useful, then we can discuss his wage.
Or taking jobs that would have been more difficult for one person.
That's what I'm thinking here with the ogre's toenails. He has some pretty sharp swords, I see, which would save me hours of fabrication time having to replicate something similar. And he claims to have some sort of acuity with them, so perhaps Sitara has some toenails we're unaware of, and he has developed a skill in this regard.
I have a question.
An inquisitive mind is a great thing. Go ahead.
Can't breathe.
Do you need the whole toenail, or will clippings do?
Oh, that's right.
An entire toenail.
Yeah, we had talked about that. Marcy, now that we have a fellow employee of the Great Fabble Stabble's Fabulous Baubles, perhaps we discuss with him strategy. Do we need the toenail, or just the clippings?
She'll pull out the order. It doesn't specify. It does have a weight here. So, yeah, this is pretty heavy, actually. Yet you need 30 pounds of toenails. Doesn't specify.
30 pounds.
Yep.
Neil's going to attempt to look through his library in his back office for any sort of reference material he might have about the weight of an ogre, so he can deduce the weight of a toe.
God. Okay. So you tell me if you would have research on the weight of random animals.
I believe he would have a pretty eclectic library, but I believe this would be his first time hunting for such information.
Okay, so how do you want to roll that? So do you want to roll
So he'd be a meticulous systems keeper.
Right.
So I feel like he would find any books that could be relevant quickly. It's just a matter of if they're relevant.
Right. Okay, so you know what, let's roll a history check, and we'll roll this against what you in the past would have found pertinent to your type of work. Though,
Okay,
of course...
20.
Okay, well, I don't even need that. Okay. Yeah, you would have a book on the giant kind. And you would be able to figure out, basically, you're probably talking about, I don't know, 30 to 45 pretty decent size, long toenail clippings. Depending on how long their toenails are,
All right, sir. If we're going the clippings route, looks like we pretty much have a pound per clipping sort of ratio going on. So we'd need about 30 or more of them. That sounds like a lot of clipping, I don't know. But if we were to capture a whole foot or a few feet, that would probably accomplish the weight much quicker. Of course, parting an ogre with his feet is not without its challenges.
Could we just ask them for their toenail clippings.
What a novel idea. We could certainly try.
Y'all are ogre pedicurists. Oh my god. I'm good.
Dezzen finds this all very, very odd. That's all I can say.
Neil would be excited at the
business of clipping toenails.
Neil would be excited at a new adventure he has never taken before, so he would be hurriedly gathering any belongings he wanted from his pack that he did not have on him just yet.
Okay. So we have joined forces to be pedicurists for the ogres.
I thought by getting to level 6 she wouldn't make us kill boars. This is much worse.
I will not. I'm just putting it out there. I will not be giving any ogres pedicures. Mm-mm.
I'm good. I'm good. I don't know what I thought y'all would do with that, but this is so good. This is
We
so
can
good.
earn some side income if we offer the ogres happy endings.
May I ask what job made you think you needed to collect ogre toenails?
From an apothecary. Yep.
Interesting.
I mean, done a lot of work together, but they always request some of the strangest things.
You mean the most interesting things, of course.
The most interesting things for our adventuring Neil. Yep.
That's right.
You know, have either of y'all eaten breakfast? Neil, when was the last time you ate, technically?
I forget.
So then that would probably mean the last time I fed you, which was 2 nights ago. You know what? I'm gonna go get everybody breakfast.
That was delicious. You're right.
Mm-hmm. To celebrate our new partner.
And
Okay.
I'm sorry. As much as I enjoyed calling you Tunnel Brother, it appears you have not worn to the moniker. What is your name, good sir?
I don't mind the title. My name's Dezzen.
Oh, well, pleasure to meet you, Dezzen. I may call you a Tunnel Brother again, since you seem okay with it, but I felt perhaps proper names are appropriate. My name is, of course, Cornelius Fabble-Stabble, but you may call me Neil, as many people stumble on the stabble.
On the stabble part, huh?
Well, they get all blah, 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 stabble.
Dezzen's gonna be trying to hold back a laugh.
Dezzen laughing? Oh my.
Right. Neil, it's nice to meet you.
Pleasure.
Okay. Well, Marcy's going to go grab breakfast. I'm locking the door, Neil. Okay?
Okay.
Don't run into it. Bye. Be back. So,
She's kidding. That only happened like a couple of times.
But there is precedent.
I guess if you look at it that way, yes.
you'll hear the door unlock real quick and the little ding ding ding. Dezzen, if y'all are going to be in the back room, don't forget the tink, and she'll like tap on her safety glasses. Just okay. Be right back.
Do things often blow up here?
What? No. Marcy's just overly cautious. He's going to walk towards his workbench as he's waiting for breakfast. He will just begin tinkering again.
And you said your armor was like shards of metal?
It was like a hodgepodge of metal. It's kind of, I'm trying to think of the best way to describe it because he's really his own sort of character in many respects. I can't think of another character to compare him to. But it'd be like a bit of tin that he'd found from like the plating on something that he then welded to an iron plate that he found on something else that then he welded to a mithril plate that he found somewhere else. And so it makes this really weird patched together armor.
Neil.
Yeah, scrap metal works.
We can go buy an armor smith if you would like to purchase new armor.
Well, sir, I can assure you that what the TB-1000 lacks in glamour, it makes up for in defensive capabilities.
I'm sure you're right.
I have a feeling if we're going to have to cut those toes with the ogres, you might just see the TB-1000 in action.
I was thinking more you could use the scrap metal hanging off of it to cut the toenails.
I can sense when a joke is pointed my direction. No, it is not that jagged. Ooh, ow. Oh, okay, I need to file that part down.
Well, this journey should at least be entertaining. How many adventures have you been on? You said you did mercenary work.
Must be hundreds now. I've been adventuring for about 70 years.
And you're not dead. That's a good sign.
Yes, before you mock the TB-1000 or me any further, perhaps think of that.
There's a short joke to be had, but I'm not going to say anything. Did you ever live in the Underdark?
Very briefly. I moved when I was a young adult. My particular town was very interested in keeping to themselves, and I thought there was a grand world to adventure. Young dreams that proved out to be this rich reality you now see before you, this wondrous parlor.
Your people, they let you go?
Well, we're very peace-loving people. They weren't going to try to hold me against my wishes. They did caution me endlessly that I would regret going to the surface, but they were wrong.
That's interesting. Mine did it out of necessity.
Yes, I've even in my small town, we had heard stories of the drow, and especially being male there is quite challenging.
Well, they were starving.
Understandable. But still, you have survived much, which is why I immediately took that you must be a welcome addition to the workforce.
I will go back as soon as she needs me.
That is fair.
Ding, ding, ding. Breakfast. I got 2 for each of you. I don't know when you last ate, good sir. Name. But I do know that Neil hasn't eaten in at least 2 days. So here's breakfast. You get
Is there like a table we're sitting down, or are we just kind of eating it while we stand?
There'd be like she'll push aside some stuff on like a side bench, and you kind of hear like something rattle to the floor. Not breakable, it's fine. Here you go. Plates, plates, plates.
Neil will bring out a collapsible pole that he will push into an upright position and press a button on the side, and a small platform opens up like a TV tray, and he will begin putting his breakfast on it.
At Neil height? 2.5
That's
feet?
right, at Neil height. Yep.
Dezzen will probably just eat it where it is, but look very uncomfortable. Because I imagine his eating arrangements were fairly, not formal, but proper. You know? So he's doing his best to adhere to the manners he was taught.
While standing at a workbench.
At a bench. Right.
Sir, do you have some sort of rigid object in your behind? Is it prohibiting your movement? Perhaps a spinal fusion, sir?
No, this is how I was taught to eat.
Oh. Well, I suppose it's beautiful in its own way. Very well. He'll try to mimic the standing up straighter and eating, but he won't be very good at it.
Gotta keep your pinky out. So it is boiled quail eggs and an interesting omelet of kinds with, I don't know, half a dozen different types of vegetables. Good food. Possibly street food, but still good. Definitely on the greasier / not as beautiful food that you're used to, Dezzen.
I was just gonna ask, would I have eaten anything like this?
No. No, everything would have been plated perfectly. Boiled quail eggs to you don't really make any sense because they're teeny tiny and you have to shell them. That would have been done for you.
These eggs, how do I eat them? They're snack sized.
Well, this should be good practice for toenail peeling. You must peel off the shell first, sir.
Right. I feel like I'm gonna break them.
Well, that will probably aid in digestion.
Marcy will just kind of lift hers up, tap them against each other, to crack the shells, and then just like roll it in her hand as the shells fall to the plate. Just to make sure they don't land in the little omelet thing.
Thank you.
You're welcome. So when do you set off on your adventure? There's not a strict deadline on this, so it's not a rush, technically. But of course, you know that they always pay more if it comes faster.
Well, I suppose we should take our new friend into account. Dezzen, do you need to get this money back to Satara right away?
She will let me know when she's ready.
What are your comfortability level with perhaps being in the middle of an ogre foot situation if she were to contact you?
If you're asking if I would leave, I would not.
That's good enough for me, then I believe we'll be heading out right after breakfast then, Marcy.
Okay. Do you have any random bits and bobs sitting around, something shiny for the ogres? Maybe you like the shinies.
Oh, that's a great idea, Marcy. Yes, give me some of our shiniest and low sellers.
I will do that. And she'll go over to the child section.
Low sellers.
She'll go to the child section of some of your like little metal, very sharp things that you've created that don't get purchased because they're sharp and, cut fingers.
Nice.
And she'll just kind of scoop them all into a box. These are fairly shiny, made out of some of the scrap metal that you had, if you remember, and they don't sell. Yeah, the child torture device section. So, and I would imagine that their skin would be, tougher than the kids who have tried to play with these.
Yes, it turns out the skin tension level of several small children was lower than I had correctly estimated before. Perhaps you're right, the ogres would benefit from these more.
Well, there you go. Shinies. For your ogre friends. So, don't forget to get your pack, Neil.
Bernard! Come here, Bernard. We must load you.
Tink, 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 tink.
You would see Dezzen a metallic four-legged. I mean, it doesn't have a head. It's just 4 legs and a body, and it just moves down, walks down the stairs from the upper level of the store, the sort of apartment where Fabble Stabble lives, and then he stops like with a halt, and he kind of shimmies back and forth. He doesn't have like super precise movement. He's very like mechanical in the way that this thing moves.
Curious.
Yes, Bernard is wonderful for my adventures. I don't know if you can tell, but I actually am fairly slight of frame, so I cannot carry all that much on my own. That is where Bernard comes in handy.
Is it kind of like jagged and metal shardy as well? Or is it more put together?
It's definitely like still got that junkyardy look, but this is his like most tinkered with invention, so it's probably the best looking thing. Yeah.
Right. This one isn't jagged.
Yes, he's technically Bernard Mark 10, but I don't tell him that. I just call him Bernard.
He has feelings.
No, but I made a tinkering with his AI that I'm not entirely certain could have provided him sentience. I'm just being on my best behavior in case it has.
Yes.
Bernard, this man here is Dezzen. Add him into your allowance matrix, please, Bernard.
How much can he carry?
That's a great question. Hold on. I got
Exact amount
nothing.
of toenails.
I got nothing for him. So, DM, what do you think of a medium-sized creature?
Is he strong?
Oh, what's his strength?
He is 14 strength, so +2 modifier.
Yeah, that is pretty good. So, what's your carrying weight?
Mine is 150.
Yeah, so I would assume it would probably be about that, if only because of his size limitations.
Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
But I think we had determined that he can't fight while carrying, right?
He doesn't take offensive actions unless I use my bonus action to make him do an offensive action.
Gotcha.
Oh, right.
Otherwise, he just takes the dodge action every turn.
This is your tinkered thing.
That's right.
Your class pet thing. Right.
Yeah, this is my class pet. This is my steel defender.
So I'll walk over to him and put my bag on him.
I'm not entirely sure. I once loaded a very large, it was a ceremonial piece from an orcish village that had to weigh upwards of 100 pounds, and he carried that with ease.
Yeah, so after he says that, I'll put my bag on his back. Well, good. That should make this easier.
It's good that you waited till after I added you to his matrix. He may have vaporized your bag if you had not.
I'm more worried. Never mind.
Okay, so Is there anything y'all need to do before you head to the ogre's settlement?
I've got... I would say health potions, except I don't want to spend all my money on health potions. This alchemist you spoke of, are they close?
Yeah, they would be pretty close. I mean, you are in the main trade district of the entire city.
We need the ogre toenails first, friend, before we go to the alchemist. I know this is your first adventure, but you need the product, then you deliver.
I need health potions.
Oh, yes, the alchemist is close.
Good. Shall we stop there first?
Yes, some health potions is a smart idea.
Yes.
Yeah, it's definitely not Dezzen's first time in danger. You know
No,
what I'm
not
saying?
at all.
But he's trying not to make it seem like he's trying not to talk down to him. You know, as his master clearly trusted him. He doesn't want to do anything to sour that relationship. So
Easy enough.
Question for the DM.
Yep.
Given my background, would I come with a health potion so I could just exchange some of my gold for its value? Or do I need to go and buy these like he is?
I mean, you could say that you probably always have a couple on you.
Okay, and then I'll just subtract it from my gold.
Yeah, you would get a discount from him.
Okay.
yeah, and my character's always going to need health potions because of his class.
Yep.
So how much for 2 of the greens would you like me to pay?
What did we decide the green? 200?
Yeah, I can't remember. I can pull up my guide from Foe if you want. That's a guide somebody else prepared for prices and stuff.
Yeah, that works. I don't have that. I should have had that guide up just because I know that y'all will need more help with this previous one.
You want me to share the doc with you?
Yeah.
So we have like a uniform price?
Yeah, that works.
All right. Let me find it.
50 gold for the common ones.
Yeah, 50 for the common.
100 for greater, 500 for superior, 1350 for the big ones. Supreme. That's as of July 7th, 2020. Because it's not 2020 anymore, even though I keep thinking it is.
No.
Because it feels exactly
Cool.
the same. Alright,
All
so
right.
I'll get 2 of the common ones.
2 of the littles.
Yeah.
So he would get like a 30% discount.
So if I got 2 of the greens, they would normally be 200. So that would be 140.
Yeah.
Okay.
Would I get the same discount or no?
If he purchased them for you.
Alright, so I'll give you 70 gold to purchase 2 of the commons.
Let me do the talking, friend. We go way back.
So
I'll just kind of nod at him.
the place is called the Bubbling Kiss. Shipley, the owner, whom you have dealt with many times, is strangely enough a Goliath. So as he's very, very carefully putting tiny bottles on the shelves, you enter and he turns around.
Good morning, Shipley.
Do you have my toenails?
No, we're just about to head off to get them, but given the potential for danger here, I've hired my colleague here, Dezzen, and he is in need of a potion, and he is working for me, of course, so I was hoping you'd be generous enough to extend our arrangement between our two shops.
Is this one going to run off as well?
Well, he seems quite capable. I do not believe he will, but if he does, then, well, at least we know it won't be for lack of having the proper provisions.
I'll only run off if my master needs me.
Oh yes, he's with Satara, one of her followers.
I heard she was in town. Well, of course, you may have the discount. If you can pick me up some of the little white flowers while you're out. That would be... I'll give you a bonus, of course.
Very well. Oh yes, I remember. You do love those white flowers.
They smell
wonderful. It will
wonderful.
be done. How much? We ran into a problem earlier making sure to calculate the toenail weight percentage. How much white flowers would you enjoy?
A good bunch for the counter. The roses here just don't have the same smell. I need the white ones.
It will be done.
Thank you. And welcome to Tara's pet. I don't think we've met before. My name is Shipley.
I am Dezzen.
Well met.
It's nice to meet you.
So, you don't need anything else.
I don't think so.
You may head out on the road. First things first, Dezzen may not be completely aware of the dangers through the Dimquay. But Neil would be very well versed in having to travel as a peasant does. Dezzen doesn't necessarily have to travel like that.
No, everywhere I've traveled, I've been with her, so I haven't had to worry about it.
Yep. The Dimquay is a very unforgiving
Well, that's the swamp there.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I see it.
The swamp itself, it does take multiple days to get across. However, there are safe areas of keeps to stop at. If you pay the fee to stay, it is 1 gold per person to stay the night. And of course, that money goes to pay for the road repairs. As you see, it is bridged and it is not easy to upkeep.
Well, at least 60% of it does. The rest of it goes to the person that's...
I mean, maybe.
Yeah.
He fortuitously named himself Upkeep.
Right. Upkeep. My name is Upkeep. I am Upkeep. However, that has nothing to do with it. So, sleep and be on your way in the morning. There is no food. None of the food here is for you. Gold doesn't cover that. So I sure hope you brought some provisions.
You see, friend, this is why we got such a rich breakfast this morning.
Truth. I can't hear you. What all did you break? Technology issues, here we go. So...
Nobody can hear me?
I can hear you now.
I can hear you now.
Yeah, my camera stopped working. Right.
So, you will do this one more time on your next stop through the swamp.
I want to walk through the swamp.
Do you really?
Yeah.
Like, go off the road and just go into the swamp?
I mean, not necessarily, but I want to know what I'm seeing and hearing. And
Okay.
Oh, got it. You just want to RP the travel.
Okay.
yeah,
So, as you make your way through the first expanse of bridge, the first thing that Dezzen would note are the insects. They are everywhere. Nothing compared to the one time that you had to go into a abandoned temple in a jungle. These insects are at least not massive sized, but there are still a large number of insects. Off in the distance, you hear squeals of unknown creatures, cries of strange birds, and every so often, you'll see a dark shadow move through the trees and the swamps. That will be your first day travel through. So it is up to you what you want to do about any of that.
What is moving out there unseen?
Would Cornelius know? Neil?
Would you have ever wanted to know what was out there? I don't know that you would have had any jobs out there. It is a very dangerous place.
I don't know. I've heard stories. They range from anything like monsters to flying monsters to shadow monsters. You get a trend, it's always a monster. But I've never been hired to dispatch it, so he and I have never crossed our paths.
You've never been curious.
I've been curious, but it's profitable to be curious and hired. And then every time I've been curious, I've also been hired.
You've been doing this for 70 years, you say?
Yes, the shadow showed up a number of years ago.
You've never thought that maybe there was greater profit in seeing what lies there?
Well, to tell you the truth, when I first met Marcy, I was very much like you. She had to reel me in a bit on my unsanctioned adventures we went through a bit of a panic because I was so focused on adventure, I wasn't bringing in enough for the store. So I haven't been as you would say, that style of investigator in quite a number of years. Though it does have its allure.
I don't see Marcy around right now.
You're gonna get me into a lot of trouble, friend, and I like it. Very well, the ogre's toenails can wait. Let us investigate this shadow.
We could still head that direction. We can do both at the same time, can we not?
Again, I don't know if you've really adventured all that much, but typically a shadow known as a monster is going to cost you some time on the road.
Oh, I think between the two of us, between such a seasoned adventurer as yourself and myself, I think we should be able to handle it.
I think you're right. The profits could be quite glorious.
Yes, unknown treasures.
The best kind.
Tiffany's totally unprepared for this.
I got it. It's fine.
She thought we were going to stay on the path.
To give you some more downtime, I can tell a funny story. So, as we're marching off to what might be our doom, I feel it might be nice to share a fun story with you. Did you know that the orcs have a saying when it comes to the insects? If it is smaller than a thumb, it is just a crumb. But bigger than your finger, it is dinner.
as you make your way off the bridge, Tim is laughing in the background, by the way. Dezzen might give a slight chuckle. But off in the distance, you hear a disembodied giggle.
Disembodied voice is never a good sign, usually a sign of a foul spirit about. This might be a bit above my magical pay grade. Perhaps some of your aforementioned unsanctioned magic might be called for, friend.
You new podcast rhymes with fabble stabble. The giggles go silent.
Neil will break out his Dark Matter Scanner 2000, a device that he claims
would have chuckled at that.
A device that he claims tracks necrotic energies. He will begin attempting to scan with said device. DM, you can determine if it's...
It detects what?
Oh, you get to decide what it does. He says it claims that it detects necrotic energies.
He claims it.
Yes, this was my hidden mechanic for the DM, was he has loads of shitty inventions.
Okay, so I'm going to... Is this like dowel rods? Dowsing rods?
I don't want to tell your story for you. You can decide how effective Fabble Stabble, and it may change over time. He may become a better or worse inventor, depending on his choices. But at this point in time, he would definitely be product testing this device. I'll put it that way.
So I will say you whip out a device, and if this is way out of line, you tell me. And it's just a little box, and you wind it up, and it has a few whirs and ticks as the cogs and wheels start doing their thing. And two little antennas start like dowsing off the end, and they're just kind of wiggling around in unknown ways.
We're tracking her connection to the dark plane, Dezzen. We will have her shortly.
You can do that.
Well, in theory, this should do that. I'm not entirely sure.
So,
in theory, what could it also do?
Well, the triangulation energies could perhaps pinpoint our location for the creature.
Is this a time when I might have needed those goggles?
Oh, you did not pack the goggles? That was very unwise. Even I would suggest you to do such a thing.
Oh my god! You didn't bring the goggles.
Bernard, check the pack to see if we have a backup pair of goggles.
So, I'm sure Marcy would have stuck some in there. So...
Yeah, that's even better. That she just happened to sneak a pair in my pack.
Yeah, she would have,
knowing full well.
So
it appears good Marcy was looking out for your fortune, sir.
So the whirring and the
also, I'll just slip the goggles on.
The whirring and the beeping, it's like wind up incredibly quick, and there's this high pitched humming. And it keeps getting higher and higher until you can no longer hear it, but you can still see everything whirring. And the little antennas are just jumping around, and you hear a screech off in the distance coming your way.
Well, it's certainly alerted them where we are.
And then suddenly you hear a grinding, and and one of the antennas is pointing straight down, and another one is pointing towards the screech.
Some modifications are required. Bernard, take note while I ready my defense.
Yeah, I'll pull my swords out.
Okay. Roll initiative.
Ooh.
17.
Okay.
Do you have a map prepared for this?
No, you don't get a map. 10 and 17, right?
Yeah.
Correct. And Bernard always just goes after me.
Okay. So, out of the murky darkness of the swamp, a very tiny shadow swoops down and, oh wow, they got really good initiative. And is going to attempt to grab your device from you. So I need you to, if you're going to try and save your item, make a contested strength check.
All right.
Contested straight. This little gnome trying to pull it away from whatever this thing is.
That would be an 8.
Okay, hold on, I'm not able to.
And can I yell to Bernard to assist me? Would I have that amount of reaction time?
How close is Bernard to you?
Bernard is currently walking next to me, so I'd say within 5 feet.
How do you want him to assist you?
Rearing up 2 of his legs that he had been walking on to reveal tiny accentuators that he can use to grasp objects. And you can decide how, like, he's a very strong creature because he's a mechanical thing, but I think he's strong at other things than necessarily a contested strength check. So that's up to you.
Yeah, like carrying things.
Yeah. Or punching, like that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Right.
so, yeah, sure. You can have Bernard attempt to aid you. That's a reaction.
Yep.
So, okay.
Or technically, no, sorry. Technically, for me to ask him to do it would be a bonus action.
Okay, so it would need to be a reaction, but that's okay. Because this little dark shadow, no bigger than the size of Dezzen's fist, whips by, grabs the detector out of your hands, and begins flying off. And you hear, "That's bad!" as it flies
I
off.
told you it worked, Dezzen.
The next one suddenly appears in front of your face, Neil, and will attempt to. Why can't I roll? And you see a tiny bow. Yeah, I'm not getting like the rolling option.
Are you logged in? That happened to me one time.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't logged in. I was just like previewing the page.
No, I'm like in my combat tracker. I don't know. So this little tiny bow shoots out. Teeny tiny arrow. 22 to hit Neil.
Yeah, that is.
I need you to I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Alright. That'd be a 9.
These rolls are on fire. A little bitty arrow shoots right into your nose. And as you go to wipe it off, you just feel this heat emanating from your nose. And it, like, you can feel your face start to swell. Like if you were allergic to bees, your tongue gets thick. And then your ears start to ring. You are considered poison. And the little creature is going to attempt to fly off. Now you could use your reaction if you want to try and swat at it. And you take 1 damage. By the way.
Alright.
1 piercing damage to your nose.
Going to... So you said it's flying away, so I get, what is it, an opportunity attack is what you're saying?
Yeah.
Alright. So yeah, I'll try to swat it.
Okay. So roll to hit.
12?
As it it darts in, shoots this tiny bow at your face, and flies backwards. You attempt to swat it, and it dodges out of the way, and it laughs at you, and then darts off. Listen, I don't know. Wait, this is driving me crazy.
How far are they from me?
Well, you don't see any others.
Just the one.
Right.
But just throwing it out there that Dezzen got the 10, I got the 17.
7.
Yeah, that was his reaction time, or his... So it should be his turn to actually...
No, yeah, I know. There's more guys. Don't worry, guys. So, Dezzen.
Oh, okay.
You feel a tiny prick in the back of your neck.
Oh shit, got it.
I need you to make a con saving throw. I wish the
Jesus Christ.
the game log was floating
Come
so I
on,
could
man.
move it.
Come on.
You
What's that garbage?
oh, these are great rolls. You know, I have like these. If we had a map for this, guys, I'm sorry, I would be showing you the rolls. You got a 3, which was a nat 1.
Mm-hmm.
And so you feel a teeny tiny little prick right at the base of your hairline, and all of a sudden, feel your throat start to tighten, and your vision gets blurry. You are poisoned. You take 1 damage, and then this creature is going to fly away. So you can attempt to use your reaction if you wish to turn around and try to swat this thing.
Yeah, sorry, I'm looking at all my stuff. Hold on 1 second.
Not immune to poison, right?
I'm immune to all damage.
Seriously, I'm immune to everything.
Yeah. Actually, I can't be poisoned, diseased, charmed, slept.
I can only be hurt by the words of others when they don't hear my RP.
How far away is this thing from me?
It came out of invisibility behind you and shot you in the back of the neck.
So is it flying the opposite direction of me?
It's flying, yeah, straight back. So you'd have to whip around and try and like backhand the thing.
Sure. Yeah, I'll just kind of use my sword and kind of slash backward as I spin around towards it. Oh god.
Protect your nasal cavities, sir.
9.
9. Yeah. Let's go. And I rolled a 6 too. I rolled maximum damage on that one weapon too.
But you missed.
I know, but I missed. It sucked.
So as you whip around with one of your swords and try and swing at this thing, it's just darting in backwards, and it just looks back at you. Not gonna happen. And darts off. The next one. Somebody roll a d6 for me. 1 to 3 is Neil. 4 to 6 is Dezzen.
2.
Neil.
Sorry, buddy.
Fuck you, bro.
Does an 18 hit?
18 misses.
An 18 misses?
Yeah.
What the what?
He's a tank.
Sting me once, shame on you. Sting me twice, shame on me.
It just... You hear a little ding as something hits your armor, and you turn around and another one of these creatures is there, and it's like... and tries to take off. So you've already used your reaction, so it will get away. Okay, so Neil is next.
Do I see anything?
I would say the closest one is probably like 30 feet from you. And you just see
Alright.
this little dark creature, winged, obviously, flying. And the one that has the item is the one that's closest to you. And it's just trying to get away.
I will try my very best to be careful, trying not to hit my trinket, but at the same time feeling the need to defend it before it gets further away. I will try to shoot it out of the air if I can. Oof, now 1 for 10 total.
We suck. Oh no.
So,
This is going swimmingly.
bolt flies past this creature. Mind you, it's tiny. It's hard to hit. They're really fast. But they're laughing at you, and it has your newest device. So it continues to fly away, and you watch as over one of these bubbling, sickly-looking pools of water, it just drops it, and you hear it splash, like wet, sinking sound as it keeps going in. Tell more jokes! And it flies away.
Oh, I have a second attack. I was just waiting to hear
Okay,
what
go ahead.
happened.
You can try.
Can I try to hit that same guy, or is he invisible again?
No, he's not invisible again. It's not technically his turn. That was just narrative.
Gotcha. Well, my trinket. You will pay, cretin.
Just one more jokes!
22.
Oh, yeah. You don't even have to roll damage. The bolt, as he turns around to yell back at you to tell more jokes, flies through the creature, and you just see his wings stop in that moment before his body falls into the swamp. He's just like, and then just falls into the water after your item.
Let that be a lesson to the rest of you.
Dezzen.
Do I see anything?
You would see 2 like small black winged creatures. One of them was flying away from you, and then the other one was flying away from Neil. So they would be 40, 45 feet.
Okay, so I'm going to activate Crimson Right and shoot 2 bolts at one of the ones I can see. So like during this whole thing.
So the one that attacked you, or the one that attacked him?
Attacked me, yeah.
Okay.
So during this whole thing too, you'd probably see kind of this red kind of tinted magic swirling around him, and as he shoots his bow, it would kind of go up through the crossbow and with the arrow. 15.
Barely hits.
Ooh, 11 plus 1d6.
The energy that surrounds it pushes into this creature before, what is a crossbow?
Yeah, and I take 4 damage.
Of course you do.
Ow!
The energy surrounding it literally shreds this creature's wings apart before the bolt sinks through one side and out the other, and it just crumples almost to dust as it falls to the ground. Got a couple more. If you have more than one crossbow attack.
Yeah, I'll shoot at the next one. And I missed.
Wah wah.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that's fine. I'm done.
Okay. One of the creatures who was left,
Oh, wait. Hold on. How close was that one that I killed to the other
40
one?
feet. Oh no, they would have been a lot.
Okay, all right. All right, we're good then.
one of the creatures who's flying away hears one of their companions die, turns around. Just wanted jokes! And he'll whistle a piercing whistle. And then will turn invisible as other one. And you hear in the distance large splashes coming your way. And another one coming from the other direction. Oh, y'all would have had disadvantage. Y'all were fucking poisoned. Fuck.
Oh, yeah.
There, my disadvantage is 11.
They both would have been alive. It doesn't matter. We're not going to retcon that. It's fine. Y'all are poisoned, by the way.
Okay.
So these two creatures hear now the splashing, and then you can hear them hit soggy ground as their feet sink in, and it's right out of the mud and the murk. And they're getting closer, and it is Neil's turn.
Neil,
Yes?
are those perhaps the ogres that we're looking for?
They very well could be. There are ogres in these swamps.
Don't we need their nails?
I was hoping to get a bit of a cleaner nail than a swamp nail, but if you think we should go for it, I suppose it could be useful.
Large, dark shadow suddenly hit an area of mud, slip, and then fade behind a tree as it circles around. You'll hear the other one coming.
Should we hide? I was going to say, yeah, should we hide until we get a look at it?
Yeah, are there any trees around? Like anything big enough for me to hide behind. I mean, he's not gonna have a problem, but
There's trees everywhere.
okay. Yeah, so we'll try to get behind trees, and I'll kind of be poking my head out just to kind of see if I can get a view of what's there.
Roll.
Oh, now I roll good, son of a bitch.
Would you consider this rocky terrain? Probably not, right?
3.
Dirty 20.
Okay,
Damn, my little gnomish friend's got some stealth skills.
right? Can't. Those 2 hit rolls were bad, and the poison rolls were bad, but it's fine. So suddenly, where you were both standing, these 2 creatures, one from the right and the other one coming straight forward, float into the area, and they are massive, easily the size of the war horses, if not bigger. And they have incredibly long necks that point down into almost like a snout, like a pig. Their tail, like they're covered in this deep grayish brown fur, and their bodies are sleek and long, and their tails thick and just hang behind them. 2 big tusks coming out the front, and they both start to sniff and snort around the area, trying to catch your scent, but are unable to, even with advantage.
Neil,
Yes.
have you seen these creatures before?
Would I have? I'm getting a feeling these are the swamp monsters, but I just want to double check.
They would be something that you would have heard of. They're pretty common in these areas. So have not been seen along the roads in a long time, for obvious reason.
What's the name I heard for them?
I can't say this. So, Cato Lepas?
Cato Lepas?
Catoblepas.
Cato Belpus?
Catoblepas.
Catoblepas.
Catoblepas. Ooh.
Catoblepas.
I like that word.
Yeah, it's an interesting word.
They match the description of the Catoblepas, which I have not seen, but tend to be described like this.
Is there any reason you might need them? Can we get anything useful off them?
Would I know a value to their pelts or anything unique about them?
You can roll nature real quick, but remember, as the longer you talk, the more that they're going to be able to check for you.
14.
You might be able to get something for the end of their tail.
Their hides are not terribly useful, but I believe their tails have some sort of use. I can't recall what. Mostly concerned about their size, of course. Do you think we can take 2 of them?
So at that, I'll just can I turn around the tree and get a sneak attack on him? Or just get a couple of shots at him?
You can have a single roll with advantage. Nope. Flat roll, I'm sorry. Roll again. You're poison. 17. 17 will hit. Oh, that was really...
For 7.
What did you use? Crossbow?
Yeah, cross.
Okay. I will say they're only like 25, 30 feet from you guys. So, Dezzen whips around the edge. Hold on one second. Baby. Or Neil.
I'm just getting bad rolls out of the way. I was trying to see what type damage I do.
Oh, okay, gotcha. Crossbow bolt sinks to this massive creature's side, and it turns around, and this guttural growl pours forth. And we'll just start back at the top. No. They would have found you about that. They would have caught your scent time. So the one that you shot, Dezzen, is going to lope towards you. And 22 to hit.
Yeah, that hits.
It lopes towards you and it flips its tail around and smacks you. And as soon as it gets close to you, this overwhelming smell, just as tight as your throat is right now from being poisoned, it just makes you begin to gag. I need you to make another con saving throw. Very nice.
18.
So luckily, because all of your breathing orifices are partially swollen shut, don't quite breathe in enough to poison you, which would have just extended your poison. However, you do take 21 bludgeoning damage as its tail whips around and just smacks you right in the side, and I need you to make a con saving.
Oh, thank God it rolled over to 20 or 18.
Nice.
Oh, man.
You feel it knock the breath out of you. Takes you a moment. Oh, you probably should be taking that at disadvantage because.
Even the saving throw?
Yep. Ability checks. Or is saving throw an ability check?
Well, I got a natural 20 on the second one.
Okay. Are saving throws ability checks? No, those are different.
No, they're not.
Okay, never mind. And you feel your body almost locking up, but you're able to push through it. Okay, so the second one.
Neil, they hurt. You might want to get that shield ready.
Bernard, nostril stopples, please.
Nostril stopples? What the fuck? So
There, it's a pair of nose plugs shoots out of Bernard. And
nice.
Nostril stop.
So the next creature sees his friend attacking Dezzen, catches the scent of Neil, moves around the backside, and will attempt to attack with a 13.
no dice.
No dice.
So you watch as this massive creature runs around, slides, and its tail whips around and right into the tree that you are hiding behind. Huge piece of it just shatters, and pieces flying everywhere. However, you can't smell it because your nasal stopper. Neil, it's your turn.
I'll take aim with my weapon.
Okay. It is within 5 feet. So if you have a ranged
within
weapon.
5 feet. Oh, that's
Yep.
okay. So I will use my movement to get further away.
Okay, so it will take an attack of opportunity.
Cool.
They are absolutely ugly, you're right. Its tail still lodged in this tree. It's trying to pull it free, and it's just unable to as you move back. Alright, so attack roll with disadvantage.
Okay. Oh yeah, how do I activate that in here? Do I right click on the dice?
Yeah, you right click it.
2 nat 20s, baby.
You
Holy
did
shit.
not.
Nice.
I got 2 nat 20s. So 29 to hit.
Yeah, crit. So, did we decide if we wanted to do max damage plus a die?
I hope so, because I rolled 2 ones.
Did we decide that?
I mean,
I'm down for whatever sounds fair. I'm not very good at the dice
Yeah.
rolls. So whatever you guys think sounds fair.
So and I think we had decided we were going to do this to make crits feel like crits, especially on a
that's right. I remember
So
that session
it
0.
is max damage without your modifier. So max dice damage
Okay.
plus a roll. So the roll would be 2 plus your modifier, and then the max damage would just be 12, I think.
Okay. So max damage plus a roll. Okay, I
Max
get it.
dice damage without.
So 8 plus max dice damage, which is 6. So 14.
Very nice. 14 damage.
Then my second hit. Ooh, still doing good. 27.
27 will hit.
10 damage.
So you scramble backwards, slipping, release 2 crossbow bolts straight at this thing, and they both sink deep, and it bellows and starts whipping its head and desperately trying to get its tail free.
Bernard, defend Dezzen! And Bernard will move between Dezzen and the creature, and will take the dodge action.
Interesting. Okay. Dezzen.
I am going to. I'm trying to read what this does. Sorry. Why is it not showing up? The transformation thing.
Wait, look that up. I'm going to grab a snack. Be back in a second.
All right.
Yeah. Screw it.
Welcome to playing your new characters.
I'm gonna enable my transformation.
You're gonna have to wait for Austin to get back to describe that.
I will.
I like these guys. They're fun.
Catoblepus.
Do you get into like a battle rage? Okay. Alright.
So did I see this dude just turn into a fucking crazy thing?
So I activate hybrid transformation, and I don't transform. The only thing you can really tell is my eyes turn into a golden yellow, and my posture kind of shifts slightly. I need to make a wisdom saving throw. I got a 19. So I don't enable bloodlust. I am going to go. How far away is the one that Flabble Schnabble that Neil shot at?
He would be on the direct opposite side of the tree from you, so a step and a half.
Okay, so I'm going to attack him twice.
Okay.
11 for the first one. Oh, that's 12.
12 misses.
And 14.
14 to hit. 14 barely hit.
Okay. I also have resistance to bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical attacks.
Okay, and you also have disadvantage.
Plus
Not
one
that it
AC.
matters.
I did roll disadvantage on both of those. For 11 damage. Slash into him with this sword.
Very nice.
Reach around to this creature.
The first swing, as you tried to swing at this thing with its tail stuck in the tree, it's just like slashing, just thrashing about, and you miss the first swing, but on the second swing, you're able to give it a pretty decent slice. And it is his it was 11 damage, right?
Yeah.
So it's the one that was attacking you. And it's gonna have to attack the robot because it's staying in between you and that creature. Disadvantage 17 to hit. What's his name again? I'm sorry, your little dude?
Bernard. 17 hits.
Okay, he will take 21 bludgeoning damage. Is he immune to stun?
Thanks. He is not immune to stun.
Okay, I need him to make a Constitution saving throw.
And hold on, I don't have a HP tracker. I gotta make it real quick.
Okay. I don't know what his HP is.
You said 21, right?
Yes.
All right. Okay. Yep. So he is immune to poison, and yeah, I don't see anything about stun.
Okay. So con save.
Yeah, I'm just double checking. He has the same con as me.
Nice.
So 12.
Well, this creature's tail just swings and knocks the shit out of Bernard, and his whole body freezes. All of his little limbs just get stuck. And he is going to move around, try to get back on Dezzen. So, Dezzen, you watch as this creature moves around you, or moves around Bernard, now frozen in place. And the next one... Man, why'd you have to attack him then? Dezzen, the one that was going after... Is
it a spicy meatball? Oh no. No bueno.
Yeah, it's a nat 20.
Oh, ouchies.
So... the tail rips free of the tree. However, the tree rips free of the ground. And both of them swing around and just smack the shit out of Dezzen. So you're going to take 5 times 6, 30, 51 points of damage.
I'm resistant to bludgeoning at this point.
You're resistant?
Yeah.
Okay, so half of 51 is 25, 29 points of bludgeoning damage. Are you resistant to stun?
No, I'm down.
I was gonna say. Yeah. I was gonna say, is he resistant to being down?
Am I resistant to being dead? That's the question.
Okay. So Dezzen just disappears under this massive tree, falls right on him, and you just hear him groan, and then nothing else from beneath the tree. You are 25 feet away from the creatures, and your buddy is stunned until the beginning of the creature's next turn.
And my eyes go back to normal.
They wouldn't be able to see it. You're under a tree.
Yep.
Sorry.
I'm just saying, so it cancels the effect when I drop to 0.
So I can't... Can I see him, or I'm just seeing a tree?
You might see a little peek of him, but he is definitely mostly covered by a tree. So, just a reminder, because I don't want to see a TPK at the beginning of the campaign, the little shadowy flying creatures did call these guys. So, they did say all they wanted was jokes. Just saying, if you might want to use your action to scream out the really bad dad joke.
Wait,
see
really?
What happens. Yeah.
I missed that entirely. Yeah. I thought he was insulting me for making jokes.
They laughed at your jokes. Hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. They laughed at your jokes.
That feels not very heroic, though, to be told how to do it.
The squealing of that machine pierced their ears. It was very loud. It was like a dog whistle. And they came and grabbed it, and they said all we wanted was jokes. Just letting you know. I don't want to see anything bad happen.
Neil would have missed the fairy's advice. he would have assumed they were making fun of his joke. He is going to cast Reduce on the tree so that hopefully he can get Dezzen out from under it.
Roll an intelligence check for me.
Sure. $23.
The tree might be keeping him safe. Maybe.
Or sorry, that's 20. Sorry, I did the saving throw.
So the tree is keeping him covered. So if you feel that Neil would still shrink the tree cannot resist. The tree would turn into
Why would a tree smooshing him make me think it would be like protection?
Because it's completely covering him at this moment. And it's a bog, it's squishy. Just letting you know. So. No, if the tree would turn into a sapling, if that's what Neil would do. I mean, Neil's a pretty smart dude.
If you're saying I would have this like battlefield, like check my strategy, that fits with Neil.
Well, it would just be
maybe,
like he would be
maybe
very...
not. Well, I have the spell ready, might as well use it. I'll instead try to reduce one of the creatures.
Okay, what is the save?
It is Con 16.
No.
So he is now halved in all dimensions, and weight is reduced to 1/8 of its normal size. And anytime it attempts to deal damage, the damage of its weapons are reduced, dealing 1d4 or less damage. This cannot reduce the damage below 1.
Okay, so... this creature shrinks down and man, these guys are dumb as rocks. Are you going to continue to move backwards?
Dezzen,
I need you to make a death saving throw.
Where is the larger creature in relation to me?
The larger creature... So, you have tiny creature, Dezzen in the tree. You have your robot here, and then the other larger creature would be like right over here, next to where the fallen tree is. The two creatures would be fairly close to each other.
Going to attempt to use my movement to scramble up a tree.
Okay. Athletics or acrobatics? Athletics would be more pulling yourself up in strength. Acrobatics would be more being able to shimmy up and use the branches that are available to you.
I'm a more acrobatic gnome, so I would prefer to use my higher roll, but you tell me.
That's fine.
I got more dex than strength.
Okay. So
20, dirty 20.
Very nice. So you do successfully start clambering up this tree as you turn around and you do not see any movement from beneath the now uprooted tree. You got a 10, right? Oh, we're not supposed to be talking about death saving rolls. And the big one is going to look up the tree. Gotta do a roll. He's gotta get something really freaking high. He's gonna watch you scramble up the tree, and then he's gonna start snorting around at his friend, and you hear him growl at his little buddy. Somebody roll a D100 for me.
I feel like Tim's on the random rolls. He can do them.
A 6.
6.
Why'd you have to get a 6? Couldn't you have rolled like a big number?
What, is Sylvanas showing up or something?
No, I was just using the same rules. He's going. Tim's laughing because he knows. He starts attacking the now shrunken creature. They're dumb as rocks, guys. So you're in a tree. Dezzen's dead. Dezzen saved the day with a freaking stupid roll. Secret death saving. Yeah, we are. We're gonna do death saving rolls behind the screen. And they will continue to roll around for at least another round. So
is he fighting his little?
Yes.
His little? Okay.
And he keeps missing. Because the little thing is fucking too small, apparently. He rolled a 2 to try and bite his friend.
So the one that I had shot prior to everything going to hell, and we're all going to die. Is that the small one or the big one?
The small one.
Okay.
Because that's the one that Dezzen was going after.
I'm going to try to assist the big one in killing the small one. So whenever it's my turn to attack, I'm going to continue shooting the small one.
All right. It is. So what is their attack rolls halved?
The small one's attack roll is you roll whatever its damage is, and then you roll a d4 and subtract that from its roll, and it can't take it lower than a 1.
Okay, so got it. So he just kind of like thinks these razor sharp teeth and these tusks just pierce the back leg of this big creature as they dance around and start attacking each other. Big Wayne can't seem to catch him. It is your turn.
I forgot to roll disadvantage. 1 second. 13.
13 misses.
Okay, second attack.
They are rolling around and it's really hard to...
21.
Hit. Yep.
9 damage to the little guy.
The little guy or the big guy?
Little guy, I'm trying to not piss off the big one.
Gotcha. Okay, Dezzen. Saving roll. I don't know if it's possible for you to open up another screen to use your physical dice so that we don't see the...
And then...
Yeah, I can do that.
And then I'm going to use my movement.
Mm-hmm.
Are they rolling around right in front of the tree? Where are they rolling around fighting each other?
They're rolling around right next to the tree that Dezzen is currently pinned under, and also your creature will come out of stun.
Oh, okay. Bernard, ascend.
He will begin
And Bernard
scrambling
will-
up a tree.
Yeah. Do you need athletics for him? Because I feel like he'd be more athletic than acrobatic.
Yeah. You can just dig his pointy things.
Yep. So it's whatever I roll plus 2. 6.
Still barely moving. He tries to sink in his legs and just keeps slipping down. Isn't quite able to make any purchase.
Now's not the time for malfunctioning, Bernard.
His leg kind of freezes up for a minute. And Dezzen took his death saving throw. It is that one's turn. Just roll it. Roll it. Wow. The big one can't catch the little one at all. Little one, however, still kick the big one's ass. Alright. So, we don't have to go through everything on these rolls. They will continue attacking each other until one of them is dead. The other one will be severely injured because at this very moment they are matched in health.
Okay.
So You may take pot shots at them until you are stranded in your tree, just killing these creatures. Dezzen, death save. I have to know. Where did you send it to me? Tell me. I'll mute. Okay. So, do one more for shits and giggles. Don't hit the wrong button. Tink, 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 tink.
Here we go. Damn it. Oh, God.
Is that 2 and 2? Alright. So, as these creatures fight to the death, Neil shooting arrows down upon them, or bolts down upon them, eventually they will both die.
He's been under there a while, Bernard. You pry the tree and I'll administer life support.
Okay. He will pry the tree.
I will cast Cure Wounds on him.
So Bernard is struggling with the tree, but you reach under and just boop, give him a little tap.
9 HP.
As the light comes into Dezzen's vision, you suddenly are rushed back from the brink of death. And standing over you is Neil and Bernard.
I must admit, friend, you oversold your fighting capabilities.
Yes, I knew that was coming. I didn't expect it to be able to take a tree out.
A tip for the future, avoid the big tail area.
Oh, I want you to roll one more for me.
Death? Saving throw?
I'm curious. On the table.
So,
15, yeah.
So you would have lived.
I would have lived.
I was
Possibly.
timing it for maximum dramatic effect. If you had said, like, it's going to be 2 more rounds, I'm like, no, I know he's been under the tree for a while. I'm going to go under there and try to get him.
Okay. So, yeah, I will leave it to you two as you are now stuck in the bog of the swamp. And the poison will slowly fade from your system. And
Sweet.
Neil's face slowly shrinks back to normal. Dezzen, your throat can now breathe completely.
I'm going to use one of my health potions.
Did you get my heal earlier? I don't know if you heard it.
Yeah.
Alright.
Wow, 5 healing.
Sick.
That's an expensive.
You're still looking
Wait,
a
no,
bit wounded, friend.
we're doing max on potions. You're not in combat. Sorry. Yeah, if you're not in
That makes
danger-
your cheap ones a hell of a lot more useful.
If you're not in combat and you're able to, you know, get the full effects from the potion, you should be able to take full healing from them.
Give yourself another 10.
Up.
I'm gonna give you another. You're still looking a bit frail. I wouldn't want, you to fall down on the trail.
I feel like an idiot.
It's okay. They were quite magnificent creatures. Now comes the somewhat icky part. We need to remove the tails.
I'll just walk over and take them off.
Just lop the big
Lop them off. Yeah.
balls
Well,
at the end.
I tell you, Dezzen, we're going to be fast friends, as I am not quite a great butcher, but you seem quite natural.
Yes, well, I figured as much.
And it literally feels like it's iron.
Yeah.
Covered in thick, heavy leather. and it's about the size of your head.
Okay. I'll put him on the back, I guess, of this guy.
Oh, yes, that reminds me. I'll spend a minute casting Mending on Bernard.
Okay.
Do you think your companion could carry these?
One way to find out. Put them on there gingerly. We can tell when Bernard's hit his limit when his legs go limp.
You hear a slight giggle off in the distance.
I'm beginning to catch on that these fairies are fans of my humor.
You know, they did say they like jokes. Maybe we should have just told them jokes.
Oh, I thought they were making fun of my joke. My apologies.
It would have saved a lot of pain.
Well, on the plus side, you learned a lot more about trees, did you not?
Other than they're heavy.
I don't hear the fairies laughing. I guess that joke wasn't to their liking.
I'm sorry, the DM was muted. Yes, there will be a giggle. Yuma. There will be a giggle in the back. Somewhere in the distance.
Well,
we
fascinating.
Are we sleeping in the swamp, guys?
Never had an adventure solved by humor before.
Yuma.
I think we should get back to the road.
That's probably wise. We don't want you tripping over a tree stump.
Yes, perhaps her presence was more of a boon than I thought.
I'm just telling the jokes for the fairies. I'm sorry they're at your expense.
It's quite all right. I deserve it.
That one didn't quite get a chuckle.
All right, I've been trying too hard, and leave them wanting more. I learned that once on a trip.
Are you going to try to retrieve your device?
Of course.
Okay.
I had mentally logged it before the shittery had gone down. So,
Okay.
I'm going to walk over to where I saw it go down, and I'm going to visually inspect the whatever murky water.
Okay. Don't quite see it. You might have to dig in.
Bernard, bring me one of your limbs.
Bernard will acquiesce.
And he's going to stick his arm down in there. And Neil is going to help counterbalance the weight of these tails that are on Bernard as Bernard's kind of awkwardly bending into the sludge.
Okay, eventually you would hear a tink, 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 tink as it hits.
Yes, that's it, Bernard. Yes, grasp. Grasp away, Bernard.
And his arm will retract, and your device is goo covered and slimy, and it looks like it got in many of the gears.
This will take a while and quite a bit of rice. Well, I don't have any on me, so this will have to wait till after the ogres.
Onto the back of Bernard.
Quite a bit of rice.
That one would
That's
get
good.
a chuckle. So, you sludge your way back to the road. Filthy, Dezzen, quite beaten. And you will get to the fort. As you leave the swamp and get back on the road, you hear a couple of "Aw" in the distance. But you do eventually make it to the fort.
What a lovely, curious people that live out in the swamps.
Isn't that lovely? Yes, lovely.
Yes. I would have enjoyed them had I not almost died.
The fairies seem, I'm sorry for the pun, fairly harmless. It was mostly their large creatures, of course.
The poison was unpleasant.
Yes, that's true. Although I feel now that it's subsided, it's had some sort of almost like a vaccination style effect against my allergies.
I don't feel so stuffed up anymore. So rewind back to 1 gold. Doesn't include food. And you will be able to rest here.
I'll cover the rooms. Dezzen, you've had quite a tough day.
And on the new rules, you may roll your hit dice.
Oh, because we're at an inn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to restore my 1 missing hit point.
That pun seemed fair. Pun on a pun. So yeah, you are in a comfortable place so you can roll your hit dice, you just do not restore all of your health. You can roll all your hit dice, but you don't hit the long rest and reset your health. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so we every time we hit a long rest, we have to click that modifier?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Do we hit that long rest now? Or we still have RPing through the evening or something?
No, it depends if y'all want to RP through the evening or just RP in the morning.
So I have enough hit dice to restore my health, though.
Roll them, be sure.
Ooh, strong start.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Oh, nice. That'll work. Well, there it is. That's the law of averages in effect.
Yep.
Ooh, get it, son. Get it.
Another 10?
All right.
All right, cool. Okay, so this may still need some more balancing. So we'll figure that out.
Well, I've only got 1 hit dice left, so if we're doing short rests and it's not a long rest, I would only be able to use 1. So you can effectively only use that once if you're using it to restore a lot of your health until you take a long rest. You know what I'm saying? If you abide by that rule.
That's true.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and-
so if you
and
get
he's
fucked
healing.
tomorrow, yeah.
Yeah, he's also healing from half. So it's not the fact that he healed to full wasn't like from near death to full. He was already
Right.
Yeah.
a ways up there.
Right, so if you get hurt tomorrow, then gotcha. Okay. And then, so we will end there, and we can either pick up that night or the next morning. Dezzen would probably...
Yeah, let's pick up at the night.
Okay. As Dezzen sits there, cleans his wounds, and bandages them.
Yeah, I'd probably try to find somebody in the inn, potentially, or sit down, and if somebody offered help, I would take it probably.
I would say for like antiseptic.
Or ask the innkeeper or whatever
Yeah.
if they had somebody that was a...
Yeah, I mean, it's not a proper hotel, but they would be used to people getting stung by insects and that kind of thing out here.
Right.
So you would be able to find
At least
antiseptic
clean the wounds and stuff.
and that kind of thing to help you out. Which would be, of course, a gold. Because it's a gold.
It's like goddamn gold.
So that would get you clean bandages and antiseptic. And if you wanted to spend another gold, you could get another bottle, which would give you advantage on a medicine check if you want to try and heal on a short rest.
Well, shit, since we're doing fucking hard mode, I'm gonna have to start buying poison.
Excuse me, good sir. Do you have any rice for sale?
The food isn't included in the cost.
Well, of course, I would not expect to impose on you in such a way. I need just a small quantity, perhaps a cup or so of dry rice, uncooked, please.
1 gold.
Wow. Well, very well.
If anybody can guess what the race of this guy is, you could.
Goblin.
Yeah. He's
Sounds like a
100% goblin.
Yep.
So I know
we're gonna swamp the poor bastard.
I know we'll pick up the next session, but to begin the night, it will be Neil putting his contraption into the rice and attempting to clean it with his mending spell.
Okay. Got it. might want to waterproof that next time.
Right.
So
This is why field tests are important.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. This is why field tests are important.
field tests are the best tests.
That
That's
was
right.
funny. When I got hit for like 21 or whatever, I was like, oof, this is going to be painful.
So as of before, shiny clink clinks that go sparkly. As of before, I always make incredibly hard encounters, but there's always an out. So, or there's a way to avoid them. So I just want to let you just remind y'all of that. So maybe
Yeah,
in
I
this.
just got caught up in the
Oh, for
back
sure.
and forth with the fairies. I didn't realize that was the hint. I thought because it had come right after I had done my fool me once, shame on you, fool me twice, shame on me thing.
Right.
And so I thought they were saying like no jokes or something like that.
No, I tried to make it pretty obvious that when your machine started whirring and got higher and higher pitched to where you couldn't hear it anymore, then you heard the yell in the back, and that's when you started
Sure.
seeing the shapes come towards you.
I'll start paying a little more attention to these environmental clues that are being given.
Yeah,
Right.
I'm trying to make it more dangerous
Okay.
and like
I'm in.
have like the consequences obviously with like the healing and that kind of thing are higher, but also giving like fun ways out, you know?
Well, now I know to go do transformation right at the beginning of a fucking combat because it lasts for an hour. You know, so like if it even gives you a like if you do it when you have like in the middle of combat, say when you have half health or less, then you have to do a wisdom saving throw. Otherwise, you go into a bloodlust and just attack the nearest fucking creature. So it's like they almost tell you really. It's almost like they're saying to do it at the beginning of combat when you have full health. So I was gonna try to use it more as a flavor thing, but it looks like it's gonna be fairly integral to me staying alive. Like it's an actual kind of tank mechanic, as it makes me resistant to bludgeoning and piercing and all that stuff. So
Yeah, that's huge.
yeah,
Yes, Silas, it is. I wanted to end it a little bit early so we could wind down. I do want to talk about like correction of errors because we're running a whole bunch of new stuff. If anybody has any questions, anybody that thinks that, you know, if anything could have been done differently, and those who did look up the stat block, I did not use their death ray because I didn't think narratively it made any sense for them to have that kind of ability.
right. You were more just saying for the looks of the creature. And,
Yeah, the
you
looks
know,
of the creature, the tail. I wanted to try and give Neil something that he could be
I'm
like.
sorry, that thing has a death ray?
Yeah. Yeah.
Jesus.
Dude, I knew we were in trouble when it hit me for 21. I was like, oh shit.
It's like a bantha on crack.
Dude, it's a camel pig. It's a camel boar
That shoots death rays.
that shoots fucking death rays. You know somebody had a lot of fucking fun making that thing.
Yeah,
So, like,
it's
dude,
cool as shit.
Check out this creature I made. It's like a camel and a fucking boar that shoots a goddamn death ray, man. Can you imagine?
And then he sent it to his other like artwork guy, like friend, and he just said like, "Hey, look, I made a creature called your mom."
Oh, shit. Yes.
I mean, that guy is pretty good. Definitely using that sometime. Okay, yeah, so it's interesting, right?
What was it called? A chupacabra or something?
No, hold on, I gotta listen to it again.
Catobleepus.
Catobleepus. So they have a very long. I'll link it for anybody who has access to this in D&D. I'll link it in chat. Thanks for the loves. Weezus. Gonna bleep you out of existence. So anybody who has access to this, it's just no, it's in Volos. But their list of stuff they do and like their history is really, really in depth for a simple creature.
So look at what I put in Discord. There is actually... Okay, I'm going to read it. Hold on a second. You guys have got to hear this. The Catoblepis, from the Greek blah, 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 whatever that is, to look downwards, is a legendary creature from Ethiopia. First described by Pliny the Elder and later by Claudius Aelianus, is said to resemble a Cape buffalo, with its head always pointing downwards due to its great weight. Its stare or breath could turn people into stone or kill them. The Catoblepis is often thought to be based on real-life encounters with wildebeest, such that some dictionaries say the word is synonymous with gnu, G-N-U, gnu, or whatever, and it's also known as an African version of a gorgon.
So I'm going to need you to retcon the whole session and have us fight a wildebeest instead, please.
Right.
Okay, guys. I'm sorry. I know that most people don't have them. And I need to have a screen set up so that I can show things like that. Maybe let me try this one. But yeah, so I was looking at that stat block and I was doing it on the fly, right? I'm like trying to come up with find creatures really quickly because I was like,
it was a perfect swamp creature. That was a good choice.
Yeah, that was the idea. But browser.
Yeah, when I heard the 20 plus hit, I was just like Tim. I was going, well.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
What character should I roll up next?
Right. Oh shit.
Yeah, and I didn't want, obviously, I don't want you guys to die.
Oh yeah, thanks for bailing us out with the well done RP of my shrinking to distract them so thoroughly.
Yeah, well, and it was, I did use the same rules as, what was it called? The thing that you used to use. Divine Intervention.
Yeah.
So hit it. So.
Oh yeah, what was that for?
To see if he would. So I made him do an intelligence check to see if he would really be able to figure out. He should attack you instead of the other creature.
Oh, okay. So the fact that you rolled low really helped us out.
Yeah.
Sweet.
And then
Attaboy, Tim.
On top of that, I was like, I need them to make a roll for this. So then I gave him that one. And then used the same roll.
There you go. So it's described in the notebooks of Leonardo da Vinci as it would... Because its head always droops toward the ground, it's better because otherwise it'd be a great pest to man. For anyone whom it fixes its eyes on dies immediately.
There you go, Death Ray.
There's your Death Ray.
Okay. And then it has all this stuff like the Stench of Death, which Neil combated, which I should have made you use Bernard's turn for that. And then Blighted Territory, I already forgot how to pronounce this guy's name. Hold on, let's listen.
Catoblepis.
Catoblepis' nature as a creature of disease and decay brings out similar characteristics in the creature's swampy habitat. So it's almost like they have a lair. But I didn't want, it didn't make narrative sense to me, especially because I was trying to come up with it on the fly.
Okay, more Catoblepis information.
God.
Oh, good.
It was listed in the Book of Imaginary Beings by Jorge Luis Borges. It's described as a black buffalo with a hog's head that is always looking down. So it's not in fact a camel, it's a black buffalo.
In our book?
I thought I would clear that up.
But is he in our book?
Oh, in that one? I'm not sure. So anyway, yeah, I was like, oh fuck, 21, Jesus Christ.
No, he's not in.
So that would have only had I popped my transformation at the beginning, That would have only done 10 damage.
Right.
You know, the second one wouldn't have outright. It would have hurt, but it wouldn't have, knocked me down right away. But then I probably would have been finished off anyway. Because how much health? Well,
the important thing though about you at least going into the form when you got downed is when she was calculating damage, that was more than your total health.
It was more than the health I had, not my total health. It has to be more than your actual health pool. My health.
So how much? Yeah, how much health do you have?
52, and it would have hit me for 50 something, 51.
Well, but that was just the first part of the roll, I thought. Like she had 2 different rolls.
So it would be an instant kill. It would have had to have been 104 damage.
Oh, okay. I thought it just had to be more than your total health. It has to be double your health.
I looked it up during my dirt nap. And
gotcha.
Because I was curious about that. I was like, well, shit. Had I not done that, would it have outright killed me?
Gotcha.
And or come damn close, and it has to be double your health pool healed to full. So
gotcha.
It would have had to been 104.
Never mind then.
It's really hard to get
easy fight.
To do something
easy
really
fight.
stupid.
I like that Tiffany reads a thing with death ray and goes, yeah, 2 of them.
That's fine.
I didn't
2.
use the death ray.
Just 2.
I didn't use it.
I'm just sassing you. It's fine. It was fun. And
Therefore,
honestly, it was called for. We pushed the black shadow out in the woods that had been tormenting the swamp for years. So,
well, I think and Dezzen is the one thing he's sure of is that he can fight. Like in his mind, like that's what he's been trained for. So he's not like 100, like super confident about a lot of stuff outside of that, but he's confident in his martial abilities because that's what he's trained for so long. So that's why he was so fucking embarrassed when he got knocked out and you were still standing. He's like, well, fuck. So it's like it's like dying in LFR, It's just a kick to the ball.
So Silas had a really, really good suggestion. You guys should get an encyclopedia of monsters in game, so when you defeat a monster, you can know some info about it.
For sure.
That might be something that Neil would just note down, as you could create like your own encyclopedia. I don't know if that would be something that he would do.
I mean, it certainly fits his character. What would the encyclopedia serve for? For me to reference if we were to encounter something in the future? Is that what you're saying?
Or you could even sell the information of things that you find, because nobody goes in the swamp anymore.
Yeah. That would be, that is fun. Yeah, I think that could be something Neil would think of.
Yeah.
I'll think it over for next session, because it'd probably be something on his mind as their hits hanging out in the inn.
And I will say this is not a proper inn.
No, for sure. It's like a hovel with some tables and a...
Sorry, the Goblin Swamp Hut.
Yeah.
It's really an outpost, right?
Outpost.
Yeah, that's what I always gained from it, or that's what I thought right away, is that it was just a little outpost on the road.
I mean, the goblins making a killing out here, guys.
For sure.
Alright, maybe a cheese sandwich. And I'm obligated to eat it. So, anything else from tonight? Are we good on everything? Sorry for almost killing you, Dezzen.
It's all good.
I was like,
hilarious.
fuck. I did not want a TPK. I didn't even want a single death. I was like, it was going to be easy. We're going to go to the ogres, which are in, just so everybody else knows. The ogres, like, y'all are here right now. They're just in this hill country right here past Dustford.
Okay. Yeah, when we were talking about ogres in the swamps,
accent.
I was like,
Now, there might be ogres out here,
right.
but they're not the friendly kind. Like, the ones in the hills aren't friendly. I mean, there's a reason there's no towns around it. Right? Like, they're left to their own world over there. But, they're not swamp ogres who will just eat you because you smell good. Not now, because y'all have been marking around the swamp, but... So that's where they're at. So
Cool.
we can continue to go slow through this area. I didn't even think about that. I'm so used to just like go mode. So we can continue to go slow through this area, unless y'all just want to say no, we're just getting the hell out of the swamp.
No, I think we should take more time on stuff.
Yeah, I think especially the first time through. Like, I think I'd would love fast travel-y type experiences once it's a explored path. But the first time through, it probably would be fun to always go slow just to see what world's out there.
Cool. Awesome. I'm down for it. I hope y'all enjoyed the intro to Desme. I will put a copy of it in the folder just so that y'all have an overview of how Desme runs. Because I didn't send that to you beforehand because I just kind of wanted to introduce you and everybody else to it at the same time.
Yeah, that works.
And then, yeah, that was fun.
Awesome.
Good job, guys.
Oh yeah, great job.
Are y'all both enjoying your characters?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's always been a dream of mine to be a small creature with an inferior or a superiority complex.
I mean, you nailed it on the head.
There you go.
I like it. It was fun. Yeah, I just kind of want to be sure to check in with how your characters are feeling quite a bit because I know they're both really different from what y'all have both played.
I'm gonna be. I'll always be sarcastic, but I'm intentionally being a little bit meaner to Dezzen right now because Neil does not trust easily. So.
It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
I'm good with it.
I don't intend to always be making fun of Dezzen. But if he keeps getting his ass kicked, then he's going to get made fun of.
For sure. Yeah. He's fairly compliant until it comes to fighting. Just the way he was trained.
Yeah, I picked up on that.
Yeah.
You were like, should we fight them? And I was like, well, maybe. I guess they're worth some money. And then you're like, I'm going in.
He's very used to taking direction. And I do hope that more of his story is kind of unveiled as time goes on, both of yours.
Yeah, I'd say our first impressions, Fabble Stabble is definitely feeling that he can observe signs of Dezzen having been dominated. So Neil doesn't think any creature deserves that, so he would probably be, over time, wanting to expose Dezzen to more autonomy. Because Neil himself sees himself as like having escaped, sort of a controlled life and living his own life.
Yeah, because I wanna know more about Neil's background. I want to know more about Dezzen's training and his background. Like, there's a lot of y'all's characters I don't know about, and I'm really looking forward to seeing those stories kind of like come forward as y'all get to know each other more.
Well, and Dezzen and we touched on it tonight, he was literally sold by his family because there was a famine in the Underdark. He was deemed kind of, expendable. So maybe into the Underdark at some point.
For the contraption, did that feel okay? It was really funny to me, but I wasn't sure if it was nice for the DM.
No, I think it works great. I think it's actually pretty funny. I just think, like I said, the only thing that we need to work out is actions and that kind of thing. So if he's going to protect you from poison, then I would say like that would be his action.
No, I would say not that. I'm talking about my shadow detector.
Freaking amazing.
Okay.
It doesn't change anything. It's not game breaking.
Right. Yeah. I felt like it went exactly how I was hoping. That it's like an opportunity for you to get imaginative, and it never should be game breaking. It's not like I just say, "I have my defeat this mechanic device."
Yeah, for sure. No, it was really funny because I was.
Okay. Cool.
I was like, how could this thing malfunction and really piss off the creatures out here that are like coming to warm up to these strange bipeds that are walking into their swamp, you know? And it was like, oh yeah, high-pitched squeal, like above regular hearing squeal, that's gonna tip them off. That's just not gonna be okay. But yeah, I know that's fun. And plan for some of like, they're gonna be malfunctions, obviously.
Yeah,
Or, you know,
I trust you to
little dark
decide what you
fairies
want
dropping
with
them
it.
in the swamp.
Yeah, I trust you to have fun with it. That's the intent of it, is just something to intentionally make the game more like, you know what I mean? Like, you might feel like you're walking us down a path. I want to throw like minor speed bumps.
Yeah, I'm good.
Think.
I mean, honestly, like, y'all are speed, so
That's true.
big speed bumps as my players. So it is perfectly okay with me. Like, no, we're gonna go into the swamp. I'm like, okay, let me look this up. D&D Beyond, save me! And it did. Still.
Nice.
And they were just
Yeah.
fairies. They were sprites, technically. So
I was worried that doing the voice would be annoying for myself, but it turns out doing the voice, you get used to it.
yeah. You know, getting used to those kinds of things. And it's fun. Because it really puts you in that character's, like, mentality. Just changing your voice a little bit.
It was hard to practice because Cece laughed at me constantly.
Well, tell her that we're all laughing too, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's great.
Well, it went through much worse iterations as I attempted like gnome Ragon gnomes. I attempted like gnomes you see, like Smurfs gnomes, and they were bad. And then I was like, oh wait, I can do crotchety gnome. I can do that.
It's great. I love it a lot. Perfect.
So good.
But it was great. I had a blast. And, man, I will plan more encounters. I'm not gonna lie, I was, like, I've been fighting to get in the headspace to really plan this campaign. And I've been, it's been hard. I guess because I trying to get over the hump of planning it for 4 people and having everybody's stories intertwined and doing all of that, and then stripping that away to bare bones again and starting not quite from scratch, but almost like it's a completely different campaign, technically just the same place. That really threw me off. But
Yeah, I could imagine that. I can imagine that just from my limited experience making one world. If the opposite had happened, if all of a sudden Foe had 4 people, that would feel like a big transition.
yeah, and it's just I finally got into it today. I forget, were you doing a Monster Hunter style game? No, not originally. If you guys like it, we can do a Monster Hunter type game. Or, I mean, there is obviously a massive overarching thing going on in this region, but that can be completely ignored if y'all just want to, cut things down. And my child just exploded.
Well, I think one of the things I would be interested in is going off the beaten path more and finding more stuff like that.
Yeah, which is fine. So, like, if you want to go off the beaten path and you want to start going after bigger and better monsters, we can do that. Or if y'all just want to be like, let me see. I don't even know if it's on this map. Yeah, it is. Okay, so the glass spires are like a no-go zone. It is what it is. Like, nobody goes there. It is literally just death.
That reminds me, do we have a name for the Nope area yet that I came up through, the mines?
Yeah, so the mines themselves are called the pit mines, but the dark area is just called the Shade. That is the name for it.
So what I would say, after venturing out of a tunnel from his home, he passed through the shade?
Yeah. It doesn't really have a name, because that's just another no-go zone.
Okay.
I mean, y'all thought the camel dogs were bad. There's some shady shit in there, obviously. Shady shit.
Bull.
Cool.
Shady shit.
Yep.
And then the caves where I saw...
Mines.
What was the name of the caves again? This is the caves where the monsters are near the mines, but they're afraid of water. This is the stuff that I know.
So that's in the pit mines. The pit mines
Okay,
themselves,
so the pit mines. Okay.
Yeah, are guarded. But like some of those monsters still try to fight their way up. And hence
Cool.
the reason why miners have a very short life expectancy. Have you seen the Monster a Day Reddit? I have not. I don't really generally go over Reddit. Babe, will you subscribe? Whatever that is. Monster a Day Reddit. But I will be looking at it now. Silas. And I generally homebrew a lot of monsters, so that's nice to have a resource. Well, I say I homebrew, but it's kind of like what I did tonight. I'll just adjust the creature to make it make more in that area. But yeah, so if that's something that y'all want to do as far as just going out and exploring, that's cool.
I'd say it generally fits his personality, but I feel like it's too early on. I haven't been exposed to whatever the main thing is in order to know how strong of a pull that'd have on Neil.
Right.
So just at this point, Neil's just an adventurer wherever the buck, is. So that would kind of fit a Monster Hunter type arc pretty easily, but depends on what the main story arc is.
Yeah, and I did kind of allude to it. So just as a reminder, your master was always looking any information about Dragon. Incredibly important to her.
I did pick up on that.
Okay.
I wrote down and underlined it. It's like, okay, dragons.
Dragons. I mean, that was kind of her, and her lifespan is being a demigod. Everybody considers it infinite. So she's been doing this for a very long time. You would have probably met her as soon as you opened your shop, or maybe have even met her from the previous place that you worked. Zatara.
Oh yeah, that would make sense. Getting my start, I would have randomly seen her.
Yeah.
Entering other people's stores that I worked in.
Yep.
Sure. Yeah, I think that's the end of my questions. I can't think of anything else right now.
Cool.
Yeah, the only thing that I really want to do is I don't know if it's just because of his personality or just because I think it would be fun. It's there's a lot of cool stuff to explore in this map. And I think it'd be cool to just explore while we're doing stuff, So and I think it fits with Austin's character in that he'd want to find cool stuff to sell. So it's stuff off the beaten path that would be really rare potentially for your shop, And then, which is why Dezzen wanted to go to the swamp, but except it almost killed him.
I'll do better about balancing combat. I think the biggest thing was I didn't expect.
You did fine.
I didn't expect you both to be poisoned. Which kind of curbs combat.
I just like to point out that I lost 1 hit point and killed both of them by myself, so I was
Oh yeah, that's
fine.
true. And it was from the Sprite. It was the 1 hit point from the bolt going in your nose. The little arrow.
I had 5 charges of shield. If they smacked me, I was good.
That's funny. Yeah, because Dezzen got right in the way when the other one go back after you. So
what we're gonna do is put you on shelf stocking for a little bit, Dezzen. That'll beef up your arms a bit.
Yeah.
That's so funny. Yeah, that resistance is going to be pretty important.
I just subbed to the Reddit, so.
Okay.
And we have a pretty sweet synergy now that I understand how your beast form works. So get this. I guess Tiffany, turn off your ears, I guess. So dude, I have a spell called Warding Bond. where the target gets 1 AC and 2 saving throws and has resistance to all damage. And with her double rules, I'm curious what double resistance means.
I don't know anything about double resistance.
Am I allowed to listen?
Yeah. So in our new rules of trying to do like triple advantage, triple disadvantage, what would happen if a target had 2 sources of resistance?
I cannot hear if
That's a good question. I don't know.
So, but what's cool about that spell is it bonds us together to where you get those bonuses, but each time you take damage, I take the same damage.
You can only have resistance once.
Ah, bummer.
Yeah, there is no such thing as double resistance. If you had something that had resistance to things that the other person didn't, then you would get resistance across all, like, everything. But that form gives me resistance to piercing, bludgeoning, slashing. Gives me resistance to all the major, like, physical damage types.
Yeah. And yeah, Silas, that's what it is, yeah. It basically gives them resistance as a way of transferring half the damage to the other person. Well, it might be a nice backup if we get into a combat and you don't have your beast form.
Yeah, well, it should mean both of us. If we do that, it should be pretty tanky.
Right. I'd originally chosen it to give Bernard the warding bond, but now that I know that you're more of a get in the fray, do some shit type guy, I'll probably use it on you.
Yeah.
And it's good, man. It's a 1 hour. It's a 1 hour duration, non-concentration.
Nice.
Welcome back. I just learned that my spell was not so useful.
Oh. So, this is mainly, like, we do this to Austin all the time on Thursdays, where we will just, like, mute our mics and have a little convo here. So I want to give them the opportunity. Obviously, it's hard because I can hear Tim because he's right next to me. But, I think it's nice. Like, obviously they can chat in Discord and stuff when I'm not around, or, you know, messages, but kind of when you're in the moment, it's nice to have that plotting mechanic. Because technically, they are plotting against me, and I don't look at character sheet. The only thing I look at is backstory. Or if I'm planning combat and I don't know for sure that it would kill them, I will take a peek at action economy. But I like to not know, honestly.
Yeah, it makes it more interesting. I mean, we'd be doing the same thing if Austin and I ever talked to each other outside of the game.
Yeah. Because, like, the monsters wouldn't necessarily know. Because they're mostly going against monsters right now. So if they were going up against a more intelligent, like, foe, then I would say anything they did against the foe's minions or foe's followers or, like, whatever it was, then they would learn about that, but I wouldn't know it beforehand. I used that spell a few sessions ago and almost died because I took basically twice. I don't know what spell you're talking about.
Yeah, it'd be weak against AoE, that's true.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
And that's also another reason I always ask when they say, I'm doing this, I always say, okay, what is that?
Well, I mean, if Austin's got something that gives him resistances and I've got something that gives me resistances, we're both just resistant, regardless if it stacks or not. It's still a good thing to have for durability reasons.
Right. Just double check.
I know for now, since I'm apparently playing Dark Souls, that I will be using my resistance ability every time I go into combat.
Yeah, I actually don't have a resistance ability. The warding bond only gives resistance to the other person.
Gotcha. Can you give it to your dog?
That was my original intent for it until I saw you get your ass kicked. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to have to do it on him.
That's funny.
So it's only on another creature?
Yeah, so it basically is like a damage spread. It makes one person that's willing resistant to all damage. And then whenever they take damage, you take the same damage as the caster. So it doesn't actually make damage lessen, it just spreads it across both characters.
Okay, so resistant would mean that they would take half. And then you would take
so like
half
instead of
half?
getting hit for instead of getting hit for 14, he gets hit for 7 and I get hit for 7.
Oh, okay, I see. So that wouldn't be a double it would still be useful if only one of you is taking damage.
Yeah.
But that's a pretty rare occasion. I mean, if Dezzen's going to keep jumping in front of you because he's replaced...
Well, I was asking him, like, if we presented it to you, in a session where, like, we're granting Dezzen double resistance, what does that mean? I thought that could lead to some fun fuckery, but you can only have one resistance.
Austin's character has a lot of durability, but he doesn't behave like a tank. So, and he may down the road, I don't know, once I die multiple times, Well,
let's be clear here. No tank could stop the guy who starts combat by running around the tree away from the tank and smacking the creature in the ass.
Did I run? I didn't. I just shot from the outside the tree. I didn't run away.
I thought you hit him with your rapier first or whatever.
Yeah, you did. You went around and hit him with your swords. The one that was attacking Neil.
Yeah, but I was right next to Neil.
Neil?
All right.
That's what I'm saying, right? So I shoot the chupacabra or whatever. I shoot that thing. It comes over or one of them comes over to Neil. I go around behind it to hit it to help Neil out, and it takes its tail and Hulk smashes me against the fucking tree. Like there is no level of tanking that could solve that problem.
Healing damage with warding bonds.
I tried to do what I could after when you got smacked the first time. I was like, put the robot on one side, distract the other one. I was trying.
And then he went around the robot to the one that was attacking you. It was like an automatic, I have to protect the other person response.
Sure.
Which makes sense for Dezzen. It does. But it was funny because y'all are both...
Yeah, I mean, he's used to guarding people, but even beyond that, or guarding her, but even beyond that, like, he wanted to help his companion, too. I mean, he went around to try to attack the thing that he just didn't expect to get fucking Hulk smashed into a tree.
That's so funny.
I mean, he didn't realize, like, the tail would smash him and the tree at the same time.
Narratively, it worked out so well.
It's a good crit. It's a good crit narrative.
So what was hilarious with that too is you went up a tree. I was expecting that thing to smash that tree down too, and it to just come falling down. Because as a DM, I would have gone up to the tree with him and had him attack the fucking thing, knock that tree down, or try to.
But why? Because there was a body underneath the tree that they could eat.
I know. Well,
and I knew the tree was safe because it means they have to roll a nat 20 to knock me down. And even then, I'm just taking falling damage instead of getting slapped for most of my life.
What's falling damage? It's like 10 for every...
No, it's 1d6 for every 10 feet.
10 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have taken pretty good damage. Especially with all that metal on, you would have just clanked like a fucking...
I would have taken 2d6 instead of 20, whatever it was you took.
That's true. But then you would have still been there in the middle of it. So what I was
sure. Then I would have needed a new plan if that had happened.
Right.
But my plan was she's not getting another D20. She's not getting it. I believe.
I was going through what I thought was going to happen, and that's that both of them were going to attack the tree to get you down, and then we were going to be stuck with you on the ground, nowhere to hide, having taken fallen damage, and these two things with apparently 94 hit points obliterating you. So I fully expected for us to die because I expected them to not fight with each other and actually attack the tree that you went up.
So the idea was that they're stupid, incredibly stupid, and they had fresh meat there. All they saw was a very small creature run up a tree.
Right.
Now, if they would have been able to push the tree over and start eating Dezzen, then Neil would have been shooting at them. They would have stopped to take care of the other threat, but it hadn't gotten to that point yet. They couldn't connect the fact that Neil was using range damage. Their intelligence is 4? So it would have taken another round for them to figure out, hey, we still have this thing up here, fresh meat thing shooting at us. Might want to take care of that.
You see, as a seasoned adventurer, you must mind your surroundings.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, well, I was not seasoned enough. I was almost seasoned at eating.
I was just assuming because I was doing a little bit of cheating by reading your faces. I was assuming by the number of times he went with the on the death throws. I was like, okay, he's got to be at 2. I gotta go get him now.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We need a poker face button.
Why would I do that? That does not benefit me at all.
We need a poker face button when you roll your
I am
death
the
saves.
character that's going to get owned every time, as my main attacks do damage to me. And I happened to roll a 5 the first time I used one.
Yeah, that seemed weird. You're doing damage to yourself.
And I've never really looked at the
Blood
Blood
magic.
Hunter. There's got to be some kind of balance to that. Maybe I'll start looking up, researching maybe some homebrew fixes for Blood Hunters.
No, I'm good with it. That's why I'm playing it.
Well, but my concern is that is there a way to regain health? And I think we had decided the answer was no.
No, but you have a lot of stuff that, especially later on, that if you use it right is very deadly. So I was telling Austin I'd be really cool with having a class like that in WoW that was a high payoff but high risk. So the issue is I can do a lot of shit, but it comes at a cost. So I just have to be smart about how I play him. Now, I used that ability when I had full health. Again, wasn't expecting to get bitch slapped into a tree and taking 21 fucking damage.
Right.
Yeah, so
I like what Silas said. Maybe we do just have Tiffany do all the death rolls.
So that's something I think I'm. Oh yeah, he got smacked the fuck out of it. It was great. Sister-in-law's visiting. Why is it me? Why does it have to be me?
yeah.
Because it was your death new.
It's not my fault. It was the dice.
You had a clear suggestion in chat of just put a nice shadow demon in there. Nice,
I used a stat creature.
Right.
Ooh,
I did. I put
and you
four
put
little tiny
not
ones.
one, but 2 death laser
Look at
freaking
this.
super cows.
And
Oh, death ray. I didn't use it though. I didn't use it though.
you didn't use
Okay, so
things.
Lucky she hit me for all of my health.
he crit.
Neil's
It's not her
Neil's body disintegrates into
not even
tiny molecules.
All you see is fucking gore and shards of metal flying everywhere.
Okay, so yes, I actually meant to talk about that eventually, or beforehand, and I just forgot about
I
it.
just kick into the trees and it's all the shards of metal from your arm. Thunk, 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 thunk.
That would be hilarious. It's oh my god. Can you have how I did the boulettes where they had the death roll? Can you have an explosion that if you die, your armor just explodes out and shrapnel goes everywhere? Make it like a frag bomb? Okay.
Yeah, dude, Druid got a crazy thing at whatever level we ended that campaign at. He got that if he's ever downed, he could summon a 9th level summon beasts.
Nice.
And they just guard his corpse.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I have a feeling Blood Hunters are really good at killing lower level stuff, but then once they have to start using their abilities and it's dangerous combat, it becomes really dangerous. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
because there's a lot of little mobs, I can use that ability too that makes one make an attack on one of its buddies when it dies. So there's a lot of like little cleave things I could do built into the character, but that's only if there's a lot of little like small ones, right? If there's like a couple big ones, I could still, if we kill one, use that ability and have him smack his buddy with the tail. But it doesn't help if you don't kill anything.
Right.
So the problem is if it's two dangerous mobs, and I've got to use shit that damages me, it is basically you would just not use the damaging stuff and use the other stuff. It's really what it is. But if I transform and I'm resistant to all that shit, plus I do more damage, like, I mean, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with the trade-off.
Good with it?
Even after being down today, like, I'm okay with that. And today was a fluke in that I got crit and fucking bitch slapped into a goddamn
No.
pine.
The tree bitch slapped you. But okay, so I will do death saves behind the screen. We will call that a rule.
Sounds good.
I will bring my dice tray out. I know. This is a big sigh. So I will bring out the dice tray and we will do death saves behind the screen. I'm good with that.
Damn.
I know.
And I got out before.
It is hardcore.
Y'all playing on hardcore extreme survival mode over here, bitch. You got bitch slapped by a tree. You can't even trust trees anymore? Dude, she's made a hardcore world.
You know what she did? You know what she did?
What did you do?
Tell me if you would have caught on to this.
Okay.
She puts a bunch of fucking fairies in the middle of the swamp. Sprites.
Okay.
Okay, right.
Okay.
And they what did they say, Tiffany?
They laughed.
They said that they wanted jokes or something like that. So the out the entire time was to start telling jokes, and they would have gone away. Who the fuck thinks about telling jokes in the middle of the swamp to some fairies?
Knock knock.
Well, no shit, but it's like
What's there?
we're basically playing fucking Bloodborne and D&D over here.
She does have. Well, you guys wanted to start at 6 to get to 20. She's gonna kick
my
your
God.
ass.
Oh yeah, no, I'm cool with it. I'm totally cool with it.
Yeah, I was fine with it. I just had to attenuate to, as Jenna put it, the more hardcore world.
She's got you on hardcore survival mode. Bitch slap you and fairies. Take
Hardcore.
life.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, I could do blood
She goes,
curses.
Mm-hmm.
She enjoys.
I do.
Yeah, so everything I do basically does blood maledict.
So as we're heading to bed, Neil is just grumbling and going, "Yeah, I guess I need more heal moves on my bars for Dezzen."
Perfect.
That's why I said potions are going to be like key for me this campaign.
Yeah.
Racist.
He is a deep gnome. Like, no, he is, what are they called?
Fabbles.
Babble Stabble.
My name is
Stabble.
Cornelius Fabble Stabble, but you may call me Neil.
There's Smurf Neblin.
Yeah, they're Smurf Neblins. They're Smurfs. They're Smurf.
SVIRF.
No, they're Smurf Neblins.
Spurf, not Smurf. Spurf. Spurf.
Oh my god.
Smurf? Smurf isn't much better than Smurf.
SVIRF.
Smurf.
Smurf.
I don't know if that's
Smurf
much
Neblin.
better either.
No, that's a really fucking name.
None of those are good.
Right here.
Smurf.
Isn't Thrush a Germanic name, I believe?
Smurf.
Neblin.
They can't say beats.
My name is Smurf. Smurf Neblin.
Smurf Neblins.
Smurf Neblin.
Yeah, there you go. You're getting there. It's like,
Neblin.
Finland and
Smurf.
Norway kind of accent.
Smurf.
Sporf Neblin.
Sporf.
Sporf Noblin.
Sporf Nob.
Smurf Noblin.
Smurf Nobbin.
Yeah, I remember you
Does
told me
not look
that years ago,
amused.
Tim. I was just going to criticize your sister. I was like, Jenna, come on. You can do the accent. You don't have to say, sneer.
Smurf Nobbin.
Smurf Neblin. Oh my god. Smurf Noblin.
Smurf Nobbin.
Smurf Noblin.
Noblin.
That's why I just tell people
Austin be a Noblin.
deep gnome.
He was a deep Noblin.
gnome.
These seem like some swamp
He's a deep
gnomes.
nobbin.
Yeah, they do.
Smurf Nobbin sounds sexual.
Why I said it.
The word
Like-
knobbing in it sounds sexual.
That straight up sounds like your dick knobbing, alright? Like, straight
I'm
up.
sorry, I come out here and she's lost all control.
Yeah, it all goes to shit as soon as Jenna comes out.
Oh,
It's just, I bring out this side in Tiffany.
that's true.
The only one who does it.
I try to stay serious,
She's not.
and it's.
So are you saying
No, but if I.
I shouldn't introduce my best friend Dick Nibbler?
Dick, good old Dick Nibbler and Smurf Nobbin player. Best friends, Dick Nibbler and Smurf Nobbin. It's a good novel that you can read.
Yes, rich Nibbler.
Rich. It's the story of the rich nibblers.
That's a book that's behind the curtain.
Right.
That's with the
Restricted
torture
section.
toys.
The torture.
You missed it.
I'm sorry, is this book in the BDSM?
Yeah.
Those backup characters.
Neil,
Within the Circle D&D has been reclassified
Coming
ASMR.
next week, my name's gonna be Dick Nibbling.
yes, our next game is going to be
Dick Nibbling?
our next game is going to be based around S&M.
My name is Dick Nibbling.
Technically, we did have a shop at the last campaign named S&M.
I know. We're going to just walk around.
I did.
We're going to walk around as gimps the entire time.
Oh my god.
It's going to be purely
We'll
political.
have to, up our.
What's up for
So,
This is real awkward.
I have to talk like this the whole time.
no. Just say no. Oh my god. Just put cotton behind your teeth, it'll be fine.
Or like something, like a piece of rope in your mouth.
That's too accurate, my friend.
I know.
Too accurate.
Just what
Just the next stream opens up, you and Austin just have ropes.
thank you, Silas, for getting us back on track.
A fucking gag ball.
I'm glad you love the campaign. Oh, speaking of Austin's crying. Austin, did you like the metagaming with chat?
With Chad?
He chat. He was in chat
I
today.
know her name is Chad.
Silas is trying to get us on track. She's trying so
figured-
hard.
I figured it was worth a shot with
Chad.
with a smaller player base.
Chad didn't-
When I was in the bigger party, I felt like trying to watch chat was taking away from engaging with the other players. And then it's still a lot for me as a DM just because I'm still so new to it.
Right.
But in a smaller game, it was actually really nice. It was the opposite. It was like having more folks at the table.
Yeah. Cool. I'm glad you liked it.
How many feet? That
I'm being petted. Do I purr?
Oh, sorry. I liked it a lot. It worked okay.
But I forgot my ball gag.
Oh. No.
Just roll your tongue up in your mouth.
Oh.
That's so bad. Oh my god. Look at the message that just came up. Oh, the heart. Multiply the insanity. Guys. No.
Yeah, you poke that
All
hard.
right.
Yeah, you poke it.
You poke it
You
and
poke
it
it
multiplies.
hard.
Poke it hard and it multiplies.
This isn't turning into one of Jenna's and her guy who's bad at WoW streams, okay?
Justice with David.
David. Where is David? We torture each other's chat over there.
David, he's
Anyway, yeah, so it was great. I'm glad you're enjoying the new campaign, Silas. It's going to be a learning adventure for all of us with the new rules, new classes. I don't know either of these classes well at all. Poke that heart.
poke it hard.
Poke it. Poke it hard.
I like my fingers.
You just turned into Bane.
Can't even do it.
I don't know any base
Fine.
lines.
It's not
Wait, you just had I was blank, like insert whatever word you want. I was blank in darkness.
Yeah.
I was fucking darkness.
It's not what was intended.
The inflection is off. It's I was fucked in darkness.
I was fucking darkness.
With meaning.
Alright, I'm going to bed. This is dissolving. This is dissolving.
Yeah. Let me blow up stream. Because it needs to burn. It needs to burn.
Burn it.
Burn it down. Burn it down. Start over again. Night, guys. Thanks for everybody hanging out. Silas, thank you for all the interaction, communication. It's been great. And we will be back Thursday for Foe, where Tim and I are players. And there's more fuckery. Night, guys. Love y'all.
Sad fucker.
Night.
I know, sad
Later.
fuckery.